Boys in the back. Boys.
What is good? We are back with another episode of The Boys in the Back. Back to our normal Thursday time slot. The final show of the Olympics era comes to a close. I am one-third of The Boys in the Back. Connor Burks joined alongside me, as always, Eric Jakeman. I'm always wondering. I never know which lower third's going to show up.
What was the real name? Something Jakeman? What was it?
It was Frederick Jakeman.
Frederick Jakeman.
Yeah, Frederick Jakeman. Shout out. How we doing, brother?
I'm doing great. You?
I'm doing fantastic. We did it. We made it to the end of the boys era, the Olympic era here at Uncrowned.
Who the fuck is we?
It's been a slog, but we've done it. I believe 9 shows we had to cover.
It was an ordeal.
Who's to check?
Ariel carries a lot of the heavy lifting around these parts, and so we had to do some of that. But I really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it. We're gonna have a great show today and close it off with a fun one.
I couldn't agree more. Frankie, how you doing back there, man? Speaking of
We
these
don't
drops.
care.
Damn.
Are you
I
upset?
see them though.
Are you trying to only answer in drops, or are you upset about having to hang out with
I'm
us after
alpha.
the show tonight? Okay.
I'm not going, man.
Oh, all right. What's the excuse now?
Those fighting words.
Okay. All right, we got a big show planned. Pound for pound rankings. We won't even tease what it is. You're just gonna have to tune in. The ideas continue to get dumber and dumber until the idea of pound for pound as a whole will just completely die altogether. Parlay Pals, bets, UFC Mexico preview. But we start with some news and notes around the world of combat sports, and we start with some big breaking news we saw this morning.
This will be the last time in a while that you'll be interrupted without remembering that there's a breaking news sound, and that will go back to Ariel.
Yep. That and super chats. I took the torch. We'll make the Olympics pun there. I took the torch immediately from Ariel, and always forgetting super chats and always forgetting about the breaking news. Conor Benn, the $15 million fight was announced, and it will take place April 11th, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against Regis Prograis in the co-main event of the Fury Makhmudov card on Netflix. A lot of response to this one.
Yeah, and so we obviously have text threads, and we've talked about this, but for the people, what was your immediate reaction upon seeing that? Yeah,
that was the immediate reaction. Yeah. What? This is the card? First, I only saw the fight announcement that it's going to be Conor Benn versus Regis Prograis. This is the $15 million fight. You're talking about a guy who's 37 years old. He's now lost a couple fights. He's in the later stages of his career. He fights at 140. Conor Benn just fought at 160. This is not a name, a draw that people are going to be interested in the United States and internationally. So yeah, I was kind of confused, and then to find out that it's actually going to be the co-main event in the Fury Makhmudov card, and we're really not seeing any sort of Zuffa boxing tie to it. I understand the partnership between Turki Al-Sheikh and TKO and Sella and everything like that, but to me, it feels underwhelming for the amount of money that he's bringing in, and the fact that this is just a one-fight deal.
Yeah, and I think my reaction was pretty similar, right? This is the fight that they paid this amount of money for. But then as I digested it more, I thought about the fact that because it's a one-fight deal, it doesn't really matter what he got paid for it, right? To a certain degree. He's going to re-sign at some point. I can't imagine he's going to be making $15 million for every fight. They needed a big fight to be on, and a big fighter to be on this card alongside Tyson Fury. And so they were able to get one. Is it an overpay? I think, I would argue that all professional athletes, including boxers who make more than UFC fighters and other MMA fighters, are still underpaid, right? They should be making even more. So I can't go that far as to say that. I would never question that. I think Conor Benn's worth every dime that he gets. He should be paid like this. But is it still a surprising move to me? Yes, on its face. Yes, when it comes to this is how much he's making for this one fight. As you said, right? Regis Prograis is not any of the names we've been hearing swirling around Conor Benn. This was not the, oh my God, he's going to fight Ryan Garcia. It's going to be incredible. He's been long linked to Manny Pacquiao. He's been calling out Manny Pacquiao forever. This is not that. And on its face, it is a little bit disappointing. As far as the dollar figure, though, which seems to be the thing that everybody keeps arriving back at, it was to get him away from Matchroom, and that's all that really had to accomplish.
And when the dollar figure is somewhat insignificant to the people that are paying it, obviously
Yeah.
you know that this is through Turkey Al Sheikh and Sella. It really is just a strategic move to get him away from Eddie Hearn. On the latest TKO earnings call, Mark Shapiro sort of broke down the strategy with signing Conor Benn and what they hope to get out of it. We can talk more on the back end of it. Take a listen to this, though.
What does the $15 million Conor Benn deal signal about Zuffa's strategy? And obviously that deal upset some UFC fighters and competition. Obviously Eddie Hearn was, a little upset. How should investors assess any risk or potential repercussions of giving out those types of deals right now?
Well, first off, I would say this story, to your point, has taken on a life of its own. And that's largely because Eddie Hearn is stirring the pot in a very fictional way. So, as you know, our partner in Zuffa Boxing is Sella. They're the financial backer of the entity. Beyond the year-long series of fight cards that will appear exclusively on Paramount Plus, we've described again and again on these calls and at conferences that we also plan to stage approximately 2 to 4 super fights per year, Canelo Crawford being an example, some of which TKO will promote and or sell the media rights for, of course, incremental fees. We at TKO with Sella collectively identified Conor Benn as someone we wanted to sign for one of those super fights in 2026. That's it. One fight in 2026. Conor was a free agent. Dana White and Nick Khan, in that order, went out and signed Conor. Now, let me be clear. We signed him for just one fight. That's all we're talking about here. Now, of course, we hope eventually he'll fight in our Zuffa Boxing series exclusively on Paramount Plus. But for now, this is just one fight. No different than what we did with Canelo and Crawford. No different than other super fights we're currently planning with Sella. I would add that the reported purse, which I believe was around $15 million, but the reported purse, I'm not confirming or denying, that Conor will be paid for this super fight in 2026 is not TKO going out of pocket. Sella, led by our great partner, Turkey Al Sheikh, is covering the purse. Once again, no different than exactly what he did with the Canelo Crawford fight.
Yeah, I guess my first reaction to that is him bolstering this on the Canelo Crawford fight and saying this is exactly the same, when the announcement for Conor Benn was he has signed with Zuffa Boxing. He will become a Zuffa Boxing boxer. Canelo Crawford was, Dana White's going to be part of the promotion along with Turkey Al Sheikh, and he ended up not even being that significant of a role in that. The difference to me is the Zuffa Boxing account, the graphics that we saw, like he is now a Zuffa Boxing fighter. Turns out for this one fight on this contract, it's actually not going to be what I was expecting. I was anticipating Z07 from the O2 in London, and Conor Benn is headlining.
That's a bullshit.
Thank you, Frank. That's perfectly said. That's exactly the point. And when Jai Apataya was signed, they put out a graphic that said, we've signed Jai Apataya, he's a Zuffa Boxing fighter. When Conor Benn was signed, they put out a graphic and he's a Zuffa Boxing fighter. What they didn't indicate was this is a one-fight deal for roughly $15 million. And reporting later came out to announce that. So unlike, at no point did they go, Canelo and Crawford are Zuffa Boxing fighters, right? Because we're involved in this one fight and have this one deal. I think they've made an error. And this actually goes back to a few things. One, Demetrius Johnson saying this was just Dana White flexing. We played that clip earlier this week where Demetrius Johnson said essentially, I don't really know Conor Benn, but this feels like Dana White kind of flexing a little bit. I kind of am in that camp now, to the point that it felt like TKO, Dana White, had an opportunity to really stick it to Eddie Hearn and took it, right? We've got Conor Benn, he's going to fight for us, and he's signed to Zuffa Boxing. When in actuality, as Mark Shapiro transparently lays out, It's the same as the type of thing that they did when they were promoting the Canelo Crawford fight, where they're involved in the promotion of this. Conor Benn is one of the fighters on the card, and they hope to maybe sign him into a promotional agreement for Zuffa Boxing later, but they don't know. And now that changes things. And when we were first talking about this earlier this week, I said the one fight deal made me feel a little bit differently, right? It doesn't feel like poaching. It doesn't feel like they really stole him in the same way that it would be like, hey, I'm signed for this promotion long term. And now we're seeing all this evidence that it is not that. It is not that. And if they do not, on the back end of this, sign Conor Benn to a long-term promotional agreement with Zuffa Boxing, it would feel a bit of much to do about nothing. And I actually feel like they've unnecessarily upset the apple cart if you're the UFC fighters. They didn't need to put this signing and make it big and bold. They could have just kept it in this boxing corner. But the fact that they made this big announcement, and then the fact that reporting then came out that said it was $15 million, and now we have an executive talking about that number on a call, I don't know that they needed to open this can of worms that they've opened. I think it might have been an error.
Well, we talk about the graphics and everything like that. They also put out a post yesterday from the Zuffa Boxing account that we've been busy. Check out the full list of current athletes signed to Zuffa Boxing. And it's all of the athletes listed. Obviously, Jai Opetaia is in there, and Conor Benn is listed as well. He's not going to be fighting the same way. Jai Opetaia signed this, and he's going to be fighting in the Apex on ZO4 next week. Conor Benn's going to be fighting in the co-main event of a ring card on Netflix.
Certainly, there's a difference there in terms of what the position they've been put in. We'll talk a little bit later about Jai Opetaia and maybe how he's feeling about all that. The other thing I wanted to point out was on that call, Mark Shapiro saying, Eddie Hearn is stirring the pot fictitiously. Is Eddie Hearn stirring the pot fictitiously, or is Eddie Hearn reacting to what has been presented to him? Now, granted, don't get me wrong. Eddie Hearn is a promoter at heart. Eddie Hearn is a showman. Eddie Hearn has a flair for the dramatic. Eddie Hearn knows how to play a situation to his advantage. There's no doubt in my mind that he is salvaging what he can from this situation. But it was not him that put out the graphics that said Conor Benn is signing with Zuffa Boxing. That was Zuffa Boxing that did that. Eddie Hearn is not stirring any pot. He is reacting to the announcement by Zuffa Boxing and Dana White smoking a cigar that we have stolen away Conor Benn from Matchroom. Eddie Hearn's reacting to that. So I don't know that it's fair to characterize this as like Eddie Hearn is fictitiously stirring the pot, when, as I said, I think the promotional aspect of this is actually all generating from Zuffa Boxing.
It's not fair at all. I mean, he's not stirring up anything fictitiously. We have the Dana White clip now that's become a drop. I'm beating up babies. This is so easy. And then on
We're
Saturday,
literally beating up babies.
Beating up babies. And it's just like, man, I was serious, guys. We're beating up babies. Eddie Hearn's a fucking pussy, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like this, like, they're both stirring the pot. I understand Eddie Hearn is not innocent in all of this. He's getting on clips, you know, being like, oh, you know, you're fighting in your garage. Like, I understand that he is not innocent, but like to say he's stirring the pot fictitiously is crazy to me.
I think both sides wanted to engage this from like, we're going to war. Like, I think they were prepared for battle. I really think this may have been an error, the way this played out, because I think there's a world where they just sign Conor Benn to do a fight in a promotional event they're involved in, right? It's Tyson Fury is the headliner of this event. It is not called like Zuffa Boxing XYZ.
Actually, they posted like the poster for it. I didn't see a single Zuffa logo on it anywhere.
And so that could have easily flown under the radar. No UFC fighter, in my estimation, looked at the Canelo and Crawford fight and went, man, I really need to be paid more. They've probably thought that all along, just looking at the scope of boxing, but that didn't have the Zuffa fingerprints on it. The only Zuffa element for that was Dana White going and doing a bunch of media appearances ahead of it, promoting the fight and saying we're involved in it, hosting press conferences, doing all the usual shit. This felt like Zuffa Boxing. We've got him. Conor Benn's our next big star.
What do you mean felt like?
They did that. That's exactly what they did.
We signed Conor Benn. Eddie Hearn's a bitch. What are you going to do about it?
And so if I'm a UFC fighter, now I do feel some type of way. And I don't think they needed to go that route. I think they actually could have skated by on this if they had just pursued the same tack they did with the other boxing fight.
Okay, another thing. You brought up Canelo Crawford. Mark Shapiro brought up Canelo Crawford there. Did anyone walk away from Canelo Crawford being like, Dana White he's in boxing now. I cannot wait to see the product that he's going to put out. I need to see more Zuffa Boxing. is it not going to just be the same thing? Who's going to walk away from that card in April and be like, I need to see more Zuffa boxing? Whereas with the Jai Apataya, you are going to watch a Zuffa boxing card. It is going to be their broadcast, their uniforms, everything like that. And it's like, I actually enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to their next big fight. For this, how do you come away from a Netflix card with ring branding all over it, with Tyson Fury, who's not a Zuffa boxer, and how many Zuffa boxers will be on the card?
Yeah.
Any more in addition to Conor Benn? How do you walk away from that being like, I can't wait to watch more Zuffa boxing?
It's a really good point. The only way to salvage it, in my opinion, the only way to have some kind of payoff on that regard is if you sign Conor Benn to a promotional deal. If you sign Conor Benn coming out of that, and he actually is fighting for Zuffa boxing multiple times a year, then at least you can say, this was a huge event, and now we've got that guy. That's the only way.
And maybe they do that.
And if they do that, it makes sense.
They may have set a precedent to where now Conor Benn is not going to go back to Matchroom and Eddie Hearn because of the price tag that he got with Zuffa boxing, and they're able to negotiate a promotional deal with them for Zuffa.
We have seen, though, for many top-level boxers, you be able to navigate the waters and not have a promotion that you're tied to, right? You can float between promotions. You can do a one-fight deal or even a two-fight deal and just have them represent you for those fights to have a promotional party involved, or start your own promotional company, right? Some of the biggest, Jake Paul, Floyd Mayweather, some of the biggest ones actually just start their own promotional company. But you can float between promotions and still get these big paydays, because at the end of the day, in boxing, the promotional companies are not the big attraction. In boxing, the fighters are the attraction. In boxing, it's the name on the marquee. In MMA, it is the promotional company that's the attraction. It's those three letters UFC. It's at a much, 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 much lower level. It's PFL, right? And that is the promotional company, and that is how the MMA space works. So I don't know that Conor Benn would be in his best interest unless, for that Zuffa boxing deal, they're going to pay him $15 million a fight. And otherwise, I don't really know. Now, the other very transparent and interesting part that Mark Shapiro lays out there is, hey, we're not footing the fucking bill for this. Are you nuts? I'm not paying for this shit. Sella's paying for this. And so maybe there's a calculation that's made on their side that they've already discussed. What would a long-term deal look like with Conor Benn? And is that figure the right figure? In that scenario, then I'm okay. I feel like it could be justified. I feel like they've maybe identified something and they really want Conor Benn, and that's fine. But for this to make sense, he needs to sign long term. They need to convert him. Otherwise, it would be very odd. And I feel like they hit a hornet's nest that they did not need to hit, truly.
I guess we're just going to have to wait in due time and see, because like we've said during this entire Zuffa boxing birth, these guys know how to make these things successful. I would imagine there is a grander plan ahead of them, and that they are calculated on what they're going to do next. That this was a move that they were anticipating spending a lot of money for, and maybe they plan on spending a lot of money in the beginning to create that foundation for the organization.
My other favorite thing from that call was our Zuffa boxing series exclusively on Paramount Plus. Just make sure to get the plug in there. Gotta slide that in there.
We signed him to the super fight for Zuffa boxing. We're going to do 4 or 5 of these every year. It'll just have nothing to do with Zuffa boxing.
Yeah, it's just not related.
How about that card though? Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, 60,000 plus, 2 extremely famous UK boxing stars.
We have kind of touched around. I'm curious what the sentiment on Conor Benn will be in the UK. I'm wondering. Now, by the way, the best fighters are the ones who are cheered and booed, right? Or maybe not the best fighters. What I meant is the most marketable fighters, the most desired fighters, the ones that sell the most pay-per-views, is villain Floyd Mayweather, right? It's when he's playing the heel. When Conor McGregor is the arrogant, those are the guys that draw the most attention. And so it might not necessarily be a bad thing, but I do wonder if Conor Benn is going to be welcomed as a hero. Whereas I know Tyson Fury, no doubt. Tyson Fury is a native son and everybody loves him. Tyson Fury is just that type of character, and people will be behind him. I do wonder if Conor Benn is going to be warmly received in the UK.
Yeah, we're going to see. April 11th, Netflix, massive name value on that one. It's going to be an event. For sure. We continue along in the world of boxing as this war rages on among these promoters. British promoter Frank Warren is preparing to pursue legal action amid a dispute over his alleged exclusion from Zuffa boxing. Obviously, a partnership formed this past year between Saudi's Sella and TKO Group, the parent company of the UFC and WWE. According to The Telegraph, Warren's Queensberry is claiming that Sella and TKO breached separate contracts they had signed with him and formed Zuffa Boxing without his involvement. TKO aims to take over the sport of boxing with Zuffa and gain a virtual monopoly similar to its market share in MMA and professional wrestling. That's an excerpt from Darshan Desai's article on Uncrowned, which you can read right now up on the website. Fantastic stuff from Darshan Desai. So it looks like Frank Warren and Queensberry are looking to make a massive litigation against TKO and Sella and everything. And The Ring took to Twitter after seeing this and responded, "Rumors are circulating in the boxing world that Queensberry is in financial trouble without a continued business relationship with Sella and TKO. The loss of those relationships has influenced Queensberry's threat to sue Sella and TKO. Rumors indicate that their announcement to the media of legal action was timed before their Wardley Dubois press conference, which took place today for an event which is struggling to sell tickets. Queensberry have not been promoting any Riyadh season fights since last November, and there are no plans for the two sides to work together in the future. There has been an intensified concern among the stable within Queensberry when it was learned that they were not being used as a promotional entity for the Tyson Fury big UK comeback in April, and this concern has led to a scenario where a number of their fighters are seeking other promoters. Turki Al-Sheikh and Sella were made aware that the rumors of litigation were leaked from Queensberry, and this has created an unrepairable rift due to Queensberry cordial communications in the open and being volatile behind the scenes." So The Ring responds directly
Turkey
to...
responds. We can call it what it is. Let's be honest. Turkey responds via The Ring, which is an outlet that he's purchased.
To these potential lawsuit actions.
I'm not a lawyer. I wouldn't even dare to dream to profess what kind of legal case they could make. In the court of public opinion, right, in logic, I totally understand where Frank Warren is coming from and Queensberry Promotion is coming from. Like, this feels like a bit of a breach of trust and counter to what the relationships were like before Zuffa Boxing entered the game, right? Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn had these relationships with Turkey and the Kingdom and were benefiting from it in a major way, and it seemed like they were building some kind of thing long term. They probably thought that this was a real partnership. And then Zuffa Boxing gets into the game. They have a 60%, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the investment fund has a 60% relationship, 60% ownership stake rather, in Zuffa Boxing. And it would make a lot of sense for Turkey and everybody involved in that to then put more of their energy and more of their effort and more of everything into that 60% stake that they have in Zuffa Boxing than just like these partnerships with other promoters. The question is, was this done with any additional information that Frank Warren, Queensberry, or Eddie Hearn and Matchroom was able to provide to them, or any relationship building or anything that was not supposed to take place based on that to get this done? I don't know the answer to that, right? This would have to come out in discovery. This would have to be where Frank Warren and everybody is showing text messages and emails and this and that says this is what they did and here's how they did it. I don't imagine that they'd be able to make a very strong case legally. I do imagine in public opinion and in, just being a logical person, I think a lot of people are going to be like, yes, Frank's right. They got screwed over. Are they going to be able to prove that legally? I think is going to be very difficult. Again, not a lawyer, but I do think it's very difficult just based on how high the bar is and the burden of proof. But I wonder if this is just an effort to get a settlement, right? If Frank Warren and Queensberry are going like, yeah, we got screwed here. Let's threaten this legal action. Let's try it. And even if we don't go to court and win this case, maybe they'll settle with us and then we can walk away with at least a little bit of something. The old Denzel Washington, I'm sure you've seen the clip, I'm leaving with something. And I think that's probably the mentality. I can't speak for Frank Warren. I wouldn't want to put words in his mouth. But just from the outside, it feels like that's a very possible outcome, right? That they just go, okay, we don't want to get into a protracted legal battle. Let's just settle. And then both parties move on. Queensberry and Frank Warren have a little bit more money in their pocket than they did before that. And then Zuffa Boxing, Turkey, and their investment gets to go over there and just do what they're going to do. But it'd be much more interesting if it went to court, because then we'd see those messages.
and $1 billion lawsuit
Yeah.
is nothing to scoff at. We do go back to that tweet. Our very own Darshan Desai added a helpful community note underneath the Rings tweet. Company's house shows Queensberry Promotions posted $15 million of profit for the tax year up to the end of March 2025. Another note, tickets for Wardley versus Dubois are not yet on general sale in reference to it's struggling to sell tickets.
Yeah, there are no tickets to
and
sell
that,
yet.
and that they're bleeding money. So,
Yep.
yeah, it feels like everyone's getting involved now. Obviously, Oscar De La Hoya is somewhere taking shots at someone posting a Twitter video. He's always involved in it, but now it's getting nasty between Frank Warren and Turki Al-Sheikh and Zuffa Boxing, and obviously we already know about Eddie Hearn. The drama between the promoters is top notch right now.
Yeah, and shout out to Oven, our guy, our graphic designer who made the thumbnail for today's show. An incredible one of the two sides going to war. But it really does feel like, to me, the fate of boxing is on the line here. Like, and I'm sure the promoters are feeling the exact same way. In one camp, you've got the old standing guard, right? Where it used to be, we're battling each other. Frank and Eddie, Frank versus Eddie, Oscar versus Eddie, Oscar versus whoever. Now, it feels like they have a common enemy. It feels like they all have now a common enemy, and that is the Zuffa Boxing entity backed by Turki Al-Sheikh. That feels like the power that they are seeing collected there is what they have to rally against. And so I'm interested to see if all of a sudden Frank and Eddie, who now have like a more cordial relationship, in no small part thanks to Saudi Arabia and Turkey, who brought them together, made them do the 5-on-5 and all these things, if they are actually going to start to become chummy and start to realize that their best path forward might be in cooperating with each other. And all of a sudden, Oscar De La Hoya and Eddie Hearn are getting on a lot better because they realize that they need to make big fights to counter whatever Zuffa is going to be able to do in the deep pockets that Turkey and Saudi Arabia have. Maybe they all band together and become a single entity, not a single entity by legality or by having, a single promotion, but just by working closely together. Maybe they ice out some of their boxers from fighting Zuffa boxers. Now, I don't know if that's even going to come into play because the real Zuffa boxers, not this one-off like Conor Benn type thing, a Jaya Pataya, I don't think is going to be likely to be fighting any boxers outside the promotion, right? We know what the UFC model is. It is not to allow your fighters to fight outside the promotion. And so I imagine that won't be in play, right? The icing out, because I don't think Zuffa is going to even want to put their people in the playing field. But I'm interested to see if those guys all of a sudden start to get a little more chummy than they were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Okay, well, you mentioned Jaya Pataya, and you mentioned the potential of him fighting outside of the organization and TKO shutting that down. According to Timothy Wheaton, MMA, he got a quote from Jaya Pataya warning Zuffa Boxing and Dana White over the unification promise. Undisputed, referencing to what he wants. Don't take your mind off of Undisputed. We're chasing unification fights. If we don't get one by the end of the year, I'll be very fucking disappointed. This is coming from Jaya Pataya. Obviously, he is not getting that on ZO4 next Sunday, March 8th on Paramount Plus against Brandon Glanton. So, yeah, I mean, like, I can't imagine if Jaya Pataya just keeps fighting Zuffa Boxing guys and it's all for the Zuffa belt, he's going to be very happy with this deal.
It sounds like not, but let's see. And if I'm Jaya Pataya, right, why am I not signed for one huge payday and then given a chance to maybe resign? Like,
why am I not fighting in front of 60,000?
Why? Yeah, why am I not
in front
on
of
that card?
110 in a warehouse against Brandon Glanton?
Why am I at the Apex, the Meta Apex? Sorry, the proper name.
Shout out to the Meta Apex.
But truly, and again, I truly believe that this was just an error of communication. This was an error of how they presented it, not an error of the move itself. I think Zuffa and the people backing it are very smart and making very, very smart moves. And the way they're playing this is right. The one mistake, I think, was just the framing of it, was just the fact that you've now opened yourself up for a Jaya Pataya to go, well, look what Conor Benn got. And he's going to get to fight somebody outside the promotion? Why? Why am I not? Or for Sean O'Malley to be like, he got $15 million? Why? Why don't I get $15 million? For a co-main event slot? I've headlined pay-per-views my entire fucking career.
Right, and it's not even on a Zuffa Boxing card, but is there any argument? We always say like the Conor McGregor getting paid a ton and then fighters coming and being like, well, Conor McGregor outpaid this, and them just being like, well, you're not fucking Conor McGregor. is there any argument that they can just be like, yo, well, why are you paying Conor Benn like that? It's like, well, we're not paying him. Turkey is paying him, and his funds don't go to the UFC, so you're not going to get paid that.
Okay, that's an interesting point and logically does track, right? This is Zuffa boxing money.
Yeah, it's separate, bro. He's funding it.
But what do you say now to Jai Apataya?
Okay,
that's
that was
fine to say to the UFC guy. What do you say to Jai Apataya?
That was the point I was getting to, is how Jai Apataya and Conor Benn are one for one. They are fighting under the same organization. So yeah, Jai Apataya is like, I want fucking undisputed. I'm the best cruiserweight in the world, man.
Yeah.
And you have me fighting in the warehouse, like, and you have him on Netflix cards. Co-main events under Tyson Fury in front of 60,000 people. Like, what's the deal here? So I can only imagine Jai Apataya is not going to be too pleased with his contract if his next one is also in the Apex against someone not looking to unify belts.
And this is why when he signed, it was a very shocking move to me, because he feels like a guy who can be competing at the world level and should be fighting for world titles. So it is an interesting thing. I don't think the UFC part of it holds water either. And the only reason I say that is because while that specific money is not going to UFC fighters, that is specifically their investment in Zuffa boxing, it would not be the first time that money has come in from other sources to pay for UFC fighters' purses, right? There have been opportunities for that to happen. And in addition to that, the UFC has the money. The UFC has the money to pay Sean O'Malley $15 million. They are not hurting. Their profit margin is extremely high. And so even though it is not that pool of money, right? Even though it is not Turkey's money or Saudi Arabia's money, you can afford to pay Sean O'Malley $15 million if you take less. That's the conversation. It's not they can't afford 15 because it's not coming from Saudi Arabia. They can afford 15, but only if everybody makes more, and only if they make less. If only the C-suite and the investors make less. And I don't know that they're ready to have that conversation.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have that conversation. I can't imagine it going too well for them. Jumping off the point of UFC fighter pay and this whole Zuffa boxing thing and everything, pound for pound great Terrence Crawford was recently on Joe Rogan, and he discussed UFC fighters, they have more power, but they have to do one thing to get that power. Take a listen to what he had to say.
These combat sports, it got to come from the fighters. You know, just like boxing, I think if the fighters come together, they can make anything happen. The fighters don't understand the level of power that they carry because they think, oh, since they cutting a check, they got the power.
Right.
You know, but they can't cut the check without us. Mm-hmm. You know, but it's the fighters that need the money that makes it hard.
Right.
Because the fighters that already got the money, they can make a stand for something. But the fighters that doesn't, they like, well, you can do that. I got to provide for my family. You can take a chance of going at the organization for a year or however long it's going to last, but who going to pay my bills?
Right.
Who going to put food on my family table while we doing this, while we making a stand? So it's a little tougher for them to make that stand than a person that's already established.
Yes.
You know, and I think that's where, you know, the seesaw effect happens with boxing and UFC.
He's not saying anything new. People have been saying this for years and years and years now. It does just feel like everyone sees it. That is the only path to getting what they want, is unionizing, is to joining together and essentially demanding we're not fighting until we're getting paid better.
It doesn't even necessarily need to specifically be a union. What Terrence is saying, and many others have said, as you said just now, is they need to be on the same page. They need to agree and they need to combine their forces and their power. It's an interesting perspective. Obviously, Terrence Crawford is an extremely smart guy. You can hear when he talks about this. He's smart when it comes to this game, and he's just a smart guy in general. He is somebody who, throughout his career, was always underappreciated, right? He is somebody who, throughout his career, until he really had his last 2 to 3 fights, Terrence Crawford was somebody who was paid handsomely because he was a world champion and a headlining boxer, but didn't really have a lot of notoriety, right? Terrence Crawford was not somebody on the lips of everybody, right? As compared to, say, Tyson Fury, right? Tyson Fury is somebody who has been in the spotlight, headlined the biggest shows, always constantly talked about. Even a Deontay Wilder, heavyweight division's obviously a glamour division, but Terrence Crawford was not this big mega star, right? In terms of public perception, he was not a household name. In his last couple of fights, he became that. And so he was somebody who was making good money, but not recognized. Then he entered a stratosphere where now he's making a ton of money and also recognized, and he's coming at it from that perspective. The only thing I'd say as a bit of like a pushback or a devil's advocate perspective is, in his world, in the boxing world, he does have a lot of power. He has all the power. And it comes back to what I said earlier in the show, which is that in the boxing world, Terrence Crawford is the name on the marquee and the one that's selling that fight. Tyson Fury is the name on the marquee and the one that's selling that fight. Without that, you've got local boxing guys who are not going to draw anything unless you go to their backyard. Literally their backyard. I don't even mean like their hometown. I mean, you're going to have to be in their backyard with 12 lawn chairs. In MMA, if the top star in the UFC, like Conor McGregor, doesn't fight for however many years, the train keeps on rolling. The train keeps on rolling, and you've got the UFC brand that is never going to go away as long as they have the leverage and the power that they have right now. And so it will require everybody getting together, but I don't think that MMA fighters have as much power as a boxer like Terrence Crawford is used to and speaking on behalf of, right? Terrence Crawford is in a position where he has a lot of power. He's a powerful man in the boxing space, and he should be. So should all the fighters, because of the thing that he said, which is, without me, you don't have anything. I am the show. The UFC fighters are not in position to do that because the UFC is so strong and so powerful. That brand is so strong and so powerful. There really aren't many that are needed. Last show, I was like, how many people could walk into the room and demand $15 million? That list ain't very long, because the UFC knows that they could just keep it growing.
Yeah, and it's like any other organization, the NFL, the NBA, like that. Like, it's just like, yeah, if LeBron doesn't play, just fans would be upset, but the league would keep on rolling.
The Lakers matters more than LeBron James at a certain point.
But if LeBron and KD and Steph and Jason Tatum and Luka Doncic and Victor Wembanyama, if all those guys aren't playing, now we have an issue.
Oh,
Jordan, is the MLB going to start on a strike? Is that something that's happening? Is there rumors about
Jordan there?
MLB strike?
Jordan's gone.
Y'all see them though.
Anything's possible. The union leader is out because there is an alleged affair with his sister-in-law that he had.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
Very interesting.
Who's to check?
They were going to strike, and then the union leader slept with his brother's wife?
I guess, or his wife's sister.
His wife's sister? Either way, that's messy.
But fight is a fight, you know?
I don't know if that was the right job for this one.
Thanks, Kyoji.
It usually has a good spot.
Yeah. No. That's one of our best drops. That's one of our best drops for sure.
Yeah, I listened to the Sporting Class. Shout out to Pablo Torre, who has on
John Skipper.
Skipper and
Friend of
Samson.
the program.
And Samson, who talk about some of these things. Interesting one on the MLB union. But that's also highlighting a union thing, right? And again, I don't think it necessarily has to be a union. That was always kind of
a group of fighters.
You just need
substantial
power. You need power.
Yeah, it needs to be many champions and highly rated fighters and big stars.
Well, the difference with the union also is the UFC just signed a $7.7 billion TV deal. How much money from that TV deal do they get compared to the NBA players who have a union?
100% of it.
Let's just say they even get 10% of the Peacock deal. Like, they're getting way more money.
I mean, MVP was on the show on Tuesday and literally was just like, yeah, when I saw the Paramount deal, it was like, okay, I guess that's cool, but like, what does that mean for me?
And it meant nothing. It meant zero.
Doing this live from his bathroom.
You have to, yeah, you got roasted for that.
Yeah, I got killed.
You gotta match the power of the UFC, and that requires not Conor McGregor on his own, not John Jones on his own, not Alex Pereira on his own, not Sean O'Malley on his own, not Kayla Harrison on her own, and on and on and on. It requires a lot of big names to match the power of the UFC.
Which I don't think we're ever going to see that. I think we're going to get months down the road and be like, man, you remember when all that was happening? We're going to get years down the road and be like, oh, it's happening again. We've seen this before. there's too many people that the UFC has changed their life. And like think about a Marab. You're not going to get a Marab to join this. Like even when he lost, he's like thanking Dana White for how much he changed his life and everything like that. And rightfully so. Like he's become a star. He's made more money than he ever could have imagined. But like he's not going to join this fighter union to go against the organization, I don't think.
It feels like we've accepted a reality where MMA fighters just make less, right? That is the reality we've accepted. And I think the MMA fighters have accepted as well, right? And when I say less, I mean less comparable to boxing or to baseball or to football or to basketball or whatever, right? Less in comparison to that. And it's all based on percentages, right? The UFC roster makes a fractional portion of their revenue, whereas in the other sports, they make so much more. But the economics of it are the economics of it, and maybe we're just bashing our heads into the wall and just saying they need to make a higher percentage, because that's all it is, right? I said that they have $15 million to pay Sean O'Malley. They have $15 million to pay every headliner, but they would have to take less. The ownership would have to take less. For that to change, I don't know what has to happen. It seems monumental, and it almost seems like we waste breath. And at a certain point, the fans are even tuning out and being like, why the fuck do you guys keep talking about this? The reason we keep talking about it is because the fighters deserve more and should be paid more, and because they're risking their life and limb and getting injured and hurting each other and all these things for our entertainment, and they should be compensated as such. But I do understand the sentiment, and I start to feel that myself at times where I'm just like, I don't think this is going to change, and I don't know what will motivate anybody to change it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to change in the end either. I think we'll continue to see similar structure. One of the piece of boxing news, maybe this is Zuffa Boxing's next signing. Alexander Usyk took to Twitter and teased an announcement, not rushing, but I am getting ready for something big. Is the black and white an homage to Zuffa Boxing? Is that what we're going to see?
You think?
I don't know.
Their color scheme is like black, grays, whites, right?
Yeah, it's like silver, black. The uniforms are black.
Maybe.
You never know.
But they'll put out the graphic. Usyk signs with Zuffa Boxing. One fight deal, $40 million, fighting on Netflix, no Zuffa branding. Like, it's just going to be the same song and dance.
Do you think Conor Benn wears like the uniform?
No. No.
If that's the case, then
Did Terrence Crawford or Canelo Alvarez wear the uniform?
Yeah, but I don't even view that as like a real thing. This one is like he is a Zuffa Boxing fighter.
Is Tyson Fury going to wear a uniform?
No, of course not, but he's not a Zuffa Boxing fighter.
Sure, but is Conor Benn actually a Zuffa Boxing fighter?
Conor Benn walk out in black trunks with gloves that say Zuffa Boxing.
Nope.
You can get them online right now. You got to buy the left for $89.99 and the right for $89.99.
Is that actually true?
Yeah, I believe so. I think I saw Jedi Goodman post that. And then just like a plain black robe that says Zuffa on the back.
There's a world where they make him do that. I don't think that would be smart, but I guess I would wager no at this moment. I would wager that's not what's going to happen.
All right, let's go over to the world of MMA. Puck News reporting that there is going to be a $60 million price tag on the UFC White House card. Joe Pompliano putting out the UFC event at the White House will cost UFC's parent company TKO $60 million, according to Puck News. For context, Dana White previously called the Las Vegas Sphere event a one and done because it cost the UFC about $20 million to put on. We go back to Mark Shapiro at the latest TKO earnings call, and he essentially confirmed, we're not going to be making any money on this White House card. Take a listen.
I want to be clear about something. We will not profit from the White House event independently. We will not be making money on America's 250th anniversary. This is an investment for the long term. This is about earned media. This is about sampling, new fans, casual viewers, a spectacle and a stage that will ultimately expand our audience, our viewership, and our success on Paramount Plus.
Oh man, talk about professionals here. We need some better mic.
Yeah, geez.
Mic integrity from old Ricky over
No,
here.
me.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Kill the mic. What are you doing?
It's
Literally,
always hot.
the
It's
minute
always
is
hot.
a threshold, and you just now figured that out.
I'm not even gonna lie.
Always someone else's fault.
I'm not even gonna lie either. It's always hot to me. Even when Frank comes on, he's like, "You guys' mics are out." I'm like,
Every clip, it's like your guy's mic is out. He's
Literally,
like, wait till
earlier we played
every clip.
hold on, time. What does the Slack message say? What was Frank's?
Check the fucking
Before,
Slack.
during one of the Shapiro
No, sorry,
clips,
not the Slack.
I was like, hey, guys, your mics are down. You can talk back. And you both just typed in Slack as if your mics were hot.
What did you
So
say?
my mic's always out, bro.
What did
I
you
ain't never
say
saying
into my
shit
ear,
from
Frank?
this thing.
What'd you say?
Said, wait to hear me say your mics are down.
So what? How long was I gonna wait on this
Fucking
clip?
forever, because I never
because you were
said
not
it,
gonna
you
say it.
dumbass.
Because you were not gonna say it. So how about kill our mics when the clip's playing? Like
kill his mic, Frank?
Everyone.
It's always hot. Even after Frank, I don't know how Frank's feeling that day. I don't know if he's trying to pull a fast one on me. The mic's always hot. The mic's always hot.
Kill the goddamn mic.
I am getting confirmation. Zuffa boxing left-hand glove, $99.99, and you can get express delivery on that, and a Zuffa boxing
Okay, wait a
commemorative
minute.
right-hand boxing glove.
These say commemorative. These are not the ones you're actually using.
Bro, Helwani goes to the gym in the Jianglang Sean O'Malley painted
Sam
gloves.
Yeah, that's rough. Okay.
Mark Shapiro,
Mark Shapiro.
we're not profiting. This is basically a marketing tactic to put on an incredible show.
And we hope to make some of it back in sponsorships and all those things.
Frank, can you bring Eric's mic up, please?
Has it been down this entire time?
Who's to check?
I don't actually know how to continue this show because I'm unaware of
Out of everything, apparently.
what's happening.
All right, just continue on your thought here. Looking to make the money back.
Do I have to
in sponsorship.
backtrack? Was any
No.
of that heard? Is this going to be like the Robert Whittaker situation where nobody hears the clip?
To be honest,
and
someone
everybody's gonna
said
have to-
Jordan said more in 20 seconds than Rick says the entire fucking episode. So maybe people don't want to hear you so much.
My
I know,
favorite,
it's like-
my favorite comment, I think, was never mind. We don't have to get into it.
Mine was
Go ahead, man. I asked not to, but let's do it.
That's why I said never mind, because I remembered you asked not to.
No, mine was, you're teeing up this Robert Whittaker clip, then you throw to it, and then I can't hear it. So I'm not sure what actually gets played. Like, if my mic is hot during the parts where we're not talking, but then they're not hearing them on audio anyway,
We'll
I
make
might
you
as well
some
talk
flashcards,
over it.
man. You'll be able to figure it out by the
I'll
end of the
talk
week.
over it. That way they can hear something when that clip's playing.
Hey, shout out to the boys. These stupid fucks keep tossing the clips. Take a
Tossing the clips
listen.
that there's no audio on.
And it's a silent
So
abyss.
I'll just talk through
This
them.
feels like a control room dialogue debate to be had after the show. I feel like the audience right now is like, what the fuck are these
We'll
guys
do it at
talking
our
about now?
post-show drinks that we're having.
And Frankie's going to be there yet?
No.
You've
said
now
yes.
canceled. You've now canceled. Okay. Yeah, they're not going to profit. Yeah, they're going to try to make it back in sponsorships.
It makes a lot of sense. The biggest. I'm not surprised. Are you surprised at the number 60 million?
No, you're putting on a sporting
have to
event
build
at the
a-
White House.
You also have to build some a structure to house this.
Yeah, none of this is shocking to me, and I think rightfully so. It is a smart marketing tool.
Most of the time when UFC is doing events like this and there's a high fee, the reason they are not paying these numbers of money and the reason they had to at Sphere is because somebody will come in and pay them to come, or pay them and build it for them, right? If they go to the Middle East and the Middle East doesn't have a structure built, Fight Island, right? They would not foot the bill on that. The bill on that would be foot by the local government or tourism board or whoever, right? The investors, whatever the case may be. In this scenario, what they're saying is the costs that would be typically offset or paid for us, we have to swallow them, right? We are not charging the government. The White House is not paying for it. We are paying for everything. And so they're just having to come out of pocket for things that they would normally have handled for them. The $20 million for the Sphere, they didn't have to build a structure. They didn't have to do that, but they had to put a lot of money into adapting the Sphere to be suitable for MMA. And so the cost didn't really shock me. Obviously, the fact that the entire Sphere show to put on from a production and fighter purse perspective was $20 million when Conor Benn is getting $15 million for a fight is, again, a point of comparison and a little bit startling. But the 60 million White House number, so you eat 30 million, but the amount of attention you're going to get for it, the amount of viewership they're going to potentially get on Paramount and make that partner happy, the amount of opportunities you might open up, staying cozy to a government that's going to be in office.
Historically
It
speaking,
makes sense.
doing fights at the White House. I mean, the cost also, didn't they say it's going to be $5 or $6 million just to refertilize the lawn and replant all the grass that they're going to
probably.
destroy when they go there?
Yeah.
I've been to the White House. That lawn is pristine. It's manicured. It's well kept. I imagine it's not going to be cheap to get that back. to what it was beforehand. Puck News also reported that there's going to be a new date for the White House card, June 26th. That was quickly shot down by Dana White. He took to his Instagram stories. Nice little AI pic of him and Trump in front of the White House. Media is so full of shit. White House fight, date is the same, Sunday, June 14th. He's quick on the draw to get it up on IG. I think I saw another one, some random account that posted it, and he commented like some like GIF. Where
he always finds it, doesn't he?
He's so good with the GIFs too. Like this bullshit GIF. We need to make a GIF of Armin. That's a bullshit, and see if he ever uses that to call someone out.
That report being in Puck News, Dana White shooting down. I'm wondering how that came to be, how they had that wrong, but I definitely trust Dana White on this one for saying,
of course,
that is the date.
Trust Dana White. Also, June 26th would be a Friday.
Well, this is a Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah. Flag Day, Trump's birthday.
Trump's birthday. That would be the biggest reason not to move it, probably.
We did get a report about the potential of a Ilia Topuria-Justin Gaethje fight from our guy Cole Monero on Twitter. He says, regarding Ilia Topuria's fight against Justin Gaethje at the White House, the fight has not been signed, and despite being a possibility, the chances of it taking place have decreased. There are several geopolitical and economic arguments against the fight being held at the White House. If they decide that the Topuria-Gaethje fight will not take place at the White House, it would make sense for it to headline International Fight Week in July. Now, I wonder if he knows something in terms of International Fight Week. That's sort of been a back and forth that we've had. Is this going to be International Fight Week, or are they going to do something in Las Vegas in July? This is obviously going to be a massive event. They're probably going to empty the clip on title fights and everything like that. I think we saw in the plans UFC X,
Well, I haven't heard anything about that again, which makes me think that maybe July is going to be International Fight Week, International Fight Week, and UFC X might happen there again. Right? When we're talking about all this White House planning, nobody's brought that one back up. We saw it in the plans. Kayla Harrison was at the White House. We saw all the storyboarding, and then we haven't heard a peep about that part since. Makes me think that there is going to be an International Fight Week.
Any chance that Gaethje Topuria is declining because they think they're going to get McGregor with all the tweets he's been putting out lately?
At the White House.
At the White House. I mean, he dropped I know it was a rain bet promo thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But did you see the video?
No.
It's like an AI. It's like he collabed with Rainbet yesterday on Instagram, and it's like a video of him fighting at the White House, walking out at the White House. These guys are betting or whatever on Rainbet, the platform, and like a holographic McGregor comes up, and it's like, McGregor will fight at the White House. And then it's him walking out to, like, it's him in the Oval Office, and then him walking out the octagon, and like the kid bets on McGregor or whatever. But it was all centered around
the White House,
him fighting at the White House, and he collabed with it.
I did not see that. But yeah, I mean, that would make sense. If I've got Conor, I'm definitely not putting Ilia and Justin on there. And it sounded like the reporting also says like a bit of concern about like Justin Gaethje losing as an American, you know?
God, if they could do a McGregor headline on the White House and then an Ilia Topuria headline for International Fight Week, they end up doing that. That's a big summer for the UFC. That is a big summer.
What if those two swapped? What if you get Ilia at the White House and McGregor at International Fight Week? Does that feel like a letdown for the White House part?
Or would still say yes, especially if by that point we will have Conor McGregor announced. So people would be like, why
isn't he at the White House?
And that would be my question to you. Why is he not fighting at the White House instead?
Yeah.
If he's ready to fight 1 month later, why not just put him at the White House?
It's a fair point. I wonder. I don't know. I think you're probably right? Like if there's a reason to move off Ilia and Gaethje, I would think it's more for promotional aspect than anything else, right? Like I don't.
To me, it feels like they have something in the works rather than they're just not able to get the fight together.
I also just don't think this idea that like the celebration of America, Americans are going to have to win some of these fights. Who's winning the fights? Like, who are these Americans that are going to win these fights? I really don't think it's like likely.
And maybe I'm just naive, but also like, do we really, like, do people really care about like seeing Americans win on that card?
I can't speak for the president, but maybe he cares.
So I guess there are people that are just going to be tuning in for the fact that fights are taking place in the White House and they don't really know much about the organization and they're just going to want to see the red, white, and blue
it's
get their hand
supposed to be
raised.
America 250. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. Who?
Kayla, John, those are maybe like the front runners, right?
Jake? Jake?
I think Kayla and John would be your best bet to have an American go over in a big spot.
Yeah.
In
Sean Strickland?
if you match them right, sure. Against Hamzat, I don't love that idea.
Yeah. Joe Pyfer gets a big win over Izzy?
Versus who's Pyfer fighting?
I don't know. Sean
Yeah,
Strickland?
I mean, shit. Then you can't lose. Americans win no matter what. I don't know, but if we get Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje anytime this summer, I'm happy about that. That's all I'm basically at the point where I'm sick of talking about the White House. Whoever shows up on that card is going to show up on that card. If we get Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje and lightweight gets unified and we can move on to the next thing, I'll be happy as a clam. I don't care if it's at the White House, July, anytime.
Brandon Moreno, who's obviously headlining the card this weekend in Mexico City, was doing his media day rounds, and he was asked about his desire to fight on the White House card in June. Here's what he had to say.
Se habla, o se ha venido hablando mucho, ¿no?, sobre la función en Casa Blanca. En este caso, digo, hay tiempo quizás suficiente, ¿no?, dependiendo de cómo salgas de este sábado.
Things go this Saturday for you. Would you also raise your hand to possibly be on the White House card? And do you think that event might need some Mexican talent there as well? He says, brother, I want you to tell me why I would want to be there. Well, it's very special, isn't it? Says the reporter. For what? For the company. For you? For the company. Brandon says, I'm not interested. Thank you very much. And moves right on.
Yep.
Brandon Moreno not having it.
No. And I'm
so he's a Mexican fighter. Why would he want to be why would he be dying to fight on the White House card?
I'm surprised we don't hear more people saying something to this effect, right?
Especially internationally.
Yeah.
Like why would it matter to me to fight there? That's not the country that I represent.
Yeah. I think the White House card has come to represent just the UFC's biggest event.
I was going to say, yeah, a massive stage. There's going to be a ton of eyes on you.
Now, if they announce International Fight Week still happening, then I think that shifts a little bit, right? Where you can go, maybe the White House card is something separate, and International Fight Week might still be like the crown jewel or the prestige event, especially considering the card is going to be smaller and not feature as many fights for the White House. But I'm surprised we don't hear more people saying something to this effect. The same way we hear you won a championship, are you going to go to the White House? And they're just some teams or individuals have just been no, I'm not.
Yeah, I guess that though those are typically all American-based teams. Speaking of Conor McGregor potentially fighting on the White House card, Carlos Praches, there's been some rumors circling around him. He posted a video sort of dispelling those. Here's what he had to say.
Everybody I know, I would hurt him bad. I would knock him out. So I don't think it's the right way to make a comeback of the huge superstar like him, All
right, so he's saying, I'd knock Conor McGregor out, man.
Yeah.
You don't want to bring him back.
Don't feed me Conor McGregor because I'll take him out, and you don't want to do that.
Honestly, with us not knowing where Conor is at in his career, I would imagine Carlos Praches would be the favorite in that fight.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Carlos is talking a lot about Conor. Would you be interested in Conor versus Carlos Praches?
It's not the fight that I would be most interested in for Conor McGregor. I would really
Is it higher than Chandler? Or do you think it's more competitive with Chandler, so maybe that's more...
Yeah, I just have no idea where he's at, dude. I mean, he's coming off a horrendous leg injury, and we haven't seen him. By the time he enters the octagon, if it is in June, it will have been 5 years. 5 years since he last fought. There's no way to properly tell where he's at.
No.
Also, what are the 5 years from 32 to 37 or whatever?
It's a very important kind of stretch.
Yeah. I can't imagine.
If you wanted to stay competitive.
Yeah, I'm going to have the same physical energy in 5 years.
I'm telling you now, you will not.
37.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really want to see it. I'd rather see a Michael Chandler. Bigger name and more level fight.
And we're all on the same page that Nate Diaz is obviously number one.
For sure, would love to see
It's not even there's nobody higher than Nate on this list.
Yeah, I'm with you. From one Carlos to another, we go to the light heavyweight division. Carlos Ulberg has a message for Khamzat Chimaev. Stay in your lane, bro. You're too small. Handle your business over there and I'll handle mine. 205 is mine. Carlos Ulberg talking about the potential of Khamzat Chimaev coming up to 205. Big words from Carlos Ulberg, who
we don't really hear him like this a lot.
Don't hear him like that? Yeah, he doesn't even have the belt or have a title fight secured.
I do feel like things are moving in the direction of Yuri and Carlos, right? Like that seems to be
the rumor.
The sentiment, the feeling in the air is like Alex Pereira is not long for this division. Carlos and Yuri will fight for a belt. I like it though. For one, it's like Khamzat's not at 205 right now, so there's no risk, right? You're just talking shit to a guy who's not even at 205. If Khamzat does make his way to 205 and I'm holding the belt, now I just made a big fight and I've already kind of kicked off the promotional aspect of it.
It's not a great stylistic matchup.
No, it's not great.
For Carlos Ulberg.
Is there somebody, maybe I've been accused of glazing before. I'll glaze again. Like, there's not really good stylistic matchups for Khamzat by anybody.
I know, but you need someone with a gas tank and very good grappling. Both defensively and offensively.
What about Black Jag on the mats? You got that grappling.
You seen? I mean, we've seen.
I stunned you.
When people have success against Khamzat, like Kamaru Usman, he
great grappling.
did so, fighting off the chokes in round one, having the gas tank, and if that fight goes 5 rounds, we don't know if Khamzat is still undefeated or not.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. Would tell you he's not.
We'll see. I'm down for Black Jag versus Yuri for the 205 belt. I think that'd be a great one. Speaking of Kamaru Usman, he gave us an update on what's next for him. The rumors circling around him versus Islam Makhachev. Here's what he had to say.
Right now, honestly, I really don't know. The Islam fight was obviously what I wanted, and what I felt would have been great, not just for me, not just for Islam, but would have been great for the company, would have been great for the world to see that. Because listen, people count me out day in and day out. The one thing that I do, or that I know for a fact I am, is I'm honest with my abilities. I'm honest with the people. When I come out here and I tell you I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that, I honestly mean it. I'm not like some of these guys who go, yes, I'm going to kill this guy. He won't last 1 round. And the fight is a boring 3 round. Or this guy, I'm going to finish him 2nd round. And the fight's a boring 3 round. It is what it is. I'm honest about that. And so when I say I can still do this at that high level, I mean that. And for some reason, we've had conversations, but Hunter Campbell feels differently. And Hunter Campbell's like, maybe not. He wants to go a different rate. We don't know yet. It's still not. They haven't come out and said, okay, Islam is going to get this guy or Islam is going with me. But it's been a tumultuous back and forth with getting that done.
All right, so it sort of felt like the sentiment may be that he was going to get the next fight. At one point, they had odds for it, and Kamaru Usman was the odds-on favorite. It does feel like sensibility, rationality is prevailing here, and Usman's going to need at least one more before he gets that title shot.
Thank God. Like, common sense and logic has prevailed. I just don't think that this felt like it was less real than a creation. Now, granted, the reason Ed has legs and gets as far as it does, one, he's managed by Ali Abdelaziz, and that puts him in favor, and we've seen his fighters get opportunities. And two, what was 2? I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
You tell me, man. What was number 2?
What was number 2?
I don't know. It felt like it was real
because
for a
we've
minute.
seen the UFC making stupid fights that we don't understand. That's the common thing that the UFC's been doing lately.
It felt like it was real for a very real minute.
On the heels of Diego Lopez versus Alexander Volkanovski 2, everybody was like, yeah, I guess, like, fuck. Yeah. I guess Kamaru Usman could get a title shot.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see if it's not going to be Usman, who's it's going to be. Islam has also shot down Ilia Topuria, so that essentially just leaves Ian Gary,
Michael Morales, one of those guys.
Honestly, Ian Gary and Michael Morales. It's not going to be Bilal. It's not going to be JDM. And Carlos Prates is talking about JDM and Conor McGregor. He's not talking about getting a shot with Islam Makhachev. So I think that narrows it down to the Irishman or the Ecuadorian getting the next title shot.
Those are great fights. Those make sense. By the way, I just, out of curiosity, looked up to see if Kamaru Usman ever said he'd kill anybody. He had never said he'd kill anybody he fought. He said, to Conor McGregor, I'd kill you if we fought. And he said, fans are literally begging him to kill Colby Covington. So he's never said, I'll kill you.
What is this in reference to Michael Morales?
No, in the video he goes, I'm not one of these guys who bullshits out there. I never say like I'm gonna kill you. And it's like, yeah, actually you've said it a few times.
He did also say on the Pound for Pound podcast that he has been offered a fight like Dricus du Plessis, but he is only taking meaningful matchups at this stage of his career. He said he declined against the former 185 champ.
Is that not a meaningful matchup?
I feel like that's meaningful. That would put you in like a contendership at 185. You've mentioned that you want the belt there. I understand that you want to take care of business at 170 first, but I don't know. DDP, they've had a bit of history. The Real African Champ stuff.
Oh, yeah. Man, that feels like a lifetime ago, huh?
It was a lifetime ago.
Holy shit. I didn't even know what you were talking about when you're like, they have history. I'm like, damn. It feels significant just because I think DDP is fresh off losing his title. He's still a top contender. Kamaru Usman is not, right? Like he's aiming to become a top contender. Now the question would be, if he does something like that, do you then try to get a title shot at middleweight as opposed to trying to get it at welterweight? That becomes kind of the question. But
he's declined either way. I think he's made it clear that he wants.
I think that's a relevant fight. I don't know what he means by that, but I don't blame him for not taking that.
Be a great comeback for DDP. I'm dying to get some DDP fight news, man.
Who is he going to fight when he comes back?
I don't know, bro. We're going to have to see.
Who makes sense?
It can't be Strickland.
God, please not that.
Yeah, we don't need to see that for a third time. If he's not getting the title shot, I don't even love I guess like Imavov. I don't know. We'll see when he comes back.
Oh, so Imavov's not getting the title shot.
I don't know. This is what I'm saying. I just don't know. Whoa, they're going to sort everything out at 185. We just got to get Hamzat booked and everything will fall into place. Speaking of things being back, entities, organizations, people, Frankie, hit the music, man. You know the one I'm talking about.
GFL music is not playing.
What?
And you're going to think that I did that on purpose, but I didn't.
Wait, like the button's not working right now? Put that on there. Yeah! New Year is coming! Shout out to Sao Paulo. Shout out to Miami.
Protect your neck. Cause you come next.
Ooh, fuck. It's good to have it back. Good to have it.
We are so back, baby. Let's go. GFL makes an announcement on their social. The first thing we've seen since the post of 2026. We've been in building mode over the past few months.
Stop right there for a second. What does building mode entail, you think, for the GFL?
GFL's been building, baby, and we're going to tell you about it right now. Over the past few months, we have been laying a new foundation for the Global Fight League, starting with people. An athlete performance and wellness council made up of fighters, wellness experts, and trusted MMA advocates who've lived the sport at the highest level. A leadership team focused on doing this the right way, with athletes and fans at the center. This is the foundation. More to come. And as we can see, the Athlete Performance and Wellness Council will entail Tyron Woodley, Benson Henderson, Burt Watson, Alima Leigh McFarlane, Mike Goldberg, Dr. Jen Welter, Hector Lombard, Jessica Aguilera, and Kat Zingano. Mike Goldberg, super hyped about it. He said, "Here we go. I am very honored to be a part of the core. Fans, it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get up. Keep an open mind. GFL is looking to add to the great sport on MMA." How do we translate the Athlete and Wellness Committee to an actual GFL
fight card? Your guess
this lower third is disrespectful. Protect your necks.
What's disrespectful?
Yeah, man, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
I think it's disrespectful that they couldn't use a current picture of any of these people.
Yeah, can we go back to that? Can we go back to that?
There's one in particular. I think we're all going to be pointing to the same thing.
Tyron Woodley?
Tyron Woodley looks like a 20 years ago photo that he was auditioning for like Love Island.
That legit might be from like 2013. This was probably.
Does it not look like a headshot for like a reality show contestant?
The Alima Leigh McFarlane picture, I'm almost positive, is like her Bellator headshot. Shout out to Burt Watson.
Benson Henderson just looks happy to be there.
Yeah, he is. He is. Would you not be if you were on the Athlete Performance and Wellness Council for the GFL?
I'm actually crying that I'm not.
Interesting part of this is
what?
Okay,
no
you're about
shade.
to ask. You're about to ask
shade.
what I was going to say. Go ahead, ask it.
What exactly does Mike Goldberg pertain to this? Like,
that's not what I was going to ask, but that's very good.
What were you going to ask?
What the fuck is it? It doesn't say anywhere what they're supposed to do. First of all, they don't even have fights. What do they need athletes that are contributing to the health and wellness?
Wait, you said they don't even have fights?
It's a council for performance and wellness.
Performance of what? There's no performances.
He says they don't even have fights. Bro, they don't even have athletes.
Well, they at least got these ones.
Yeah, but they're the council. Who would they be counseling if there's no athletes?
Each other? But what is... They have this announcement. It's the health and wellness performance something, whatever it is. Athlete Council for Ministry of Defense. What is it? The explanation of it is not obvious. It should be in the text there that explains what these people are going to be doing, no?
Our team is dedicated to support athlete health, performance, and longevity, both in competition and beyond.
Great. What does that mean, and what are they doing?
Why don't you go to their website and sign up to join the movement?
The only other post, I was going to say, they have 2 posts on their Instagram, the wellness and athlete performance thing from yesterday, and then 20 weeks ago, Together We Fight. That's it.
Okay, their website says their team is dedicated to supporting athlete health, performance, and longevity in competition and beyond.
Yeah, Connor just said that.
To the athletes, the fans, and partners.
It's a great point.
Thank you for your patience.
Not gonna lie, I was laughing at Frank's joke.
What was Frank's joke?
Which one?
You can't say it on the air.
Oh, okay.
Top comment, can we take you seriously now?
I don't.
Kendra Lusk getting involved in the comment section. Shout out.
Maybe she's on the panel. This is my issue. If you want to be taken seriously, right? If I'm advising GFL or I am involved with GFL, if I'm part of GFL, we were building behind the scenes. The first thing you do can't be an athlete wellness thing that nobody knows what they do or why they have been formed, rather than here's how we're going to do some fights and here's how we fucked up last time. Like, your first thing can't be like, you don't even know what we were doing behind the scenes. We were building. Let me show you. And it's a panel.
GFL 1 coming April 2nd.
That's what you have to announce. That's correct.
On
yes.
YouTube or whatever.
This doesn't do anything other than make me laugh now.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess as we continue to see, we'll just wait and see.
We're not waiting. There's nothing coming.
Did they do another draft? You remember they did a draft that we watched.
It was a fake draft.
It was pre-recorded.
No, I don't know if it was pre-recorded, but the order was already determined. You remember this?
Yeah, they showed it online, right?
They showed the order, and then they were getting drafted in that order, but then they switched them up a little bit at the end.
I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm not paying any attention to GFL until I see an actual fight take place.
Let me tell you something. I got to spoil it
I
for
cannot take them even remotely serious until a fight takes place.
Athlete panel didn't do it for you?
I'll keep blaring this. This is the best thing they've ever given us. This is the only thing they've ever given us.
I want desperately to be wrong. I want nothing but success for GFL. I just don't think that they have shown the signs for being successful.
Well, before it was GFL, it was WFL, the World Fight League.
Yeah.
That was what was proposed, and that was coming 2023.
There was hope when it was like, we have investor money and we're going to put on shows. Then that obviously all collapsed and went away, and they were paying a lot of guys money to not even fight. But as I said, the first thing can't be, here's this health and wellness panel, and not, hey, we fucked up. We didn't have the money. Now we're going to do this properly, and here's what our plan is.
And here's the first card.
Here's the first card.
This is a fart in the wind. This is the UFC announcing that we have a meal plan package now, or a fragrance. It's just what is this? What is this council, and what is that going to do for this organization? How does it turn to fights?
Nobody knows. Who's the check?
Imagine what's one of the USFL?
Yeah.
Putting out an entire schedule with teams and everything, and they're supposed to be this counterpart to the NFL, and then a season never happens, and then they completely disappear off the face of the earth, and then They post. Oh,
Then they come up with the wellness.
Yeah, we got the USFL concussion protocol team.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So
Do you think they just like run back trying to make Tony and Dylan or something like that? That'd be great.
If they just do one fight,
is Tony Dillon in the GFL the biggest what if in MMA history?
How many what ifs involve Tony Ferguson in MMA history?
Okay, but hear me out for a second. What if they
Tony
just
Ferguson
did one
played
fight?
baseball?
What if they were just like, we are promoting Dylan Dennis, Tony Ferguson. I don't know what Tony Ferguson's status is with Misfits. Maybe he can't do that.
No,
but
he's undisputed.
Tony Ferguson versus Dylan Dennis. We're streaming it. This is the start of GFL. It's just one thing.
Maybe it
5
headlines.
fights.
It
He's
headlines
5
a
fights.
co-main event on Netflix.
Yeah, what?
He's making a Conor
I'm making
Benn
a joke that Zuffa boxing. You know.
So you're saying GFL signs Tony Ferguson, and then Tony Ferguson is in a co-main event on a Misfits card.
Exactly it.
But he's wearing GFL shorts.
Is he?
As long as he paid for one leg and then the other leg.
Yeah, you got to get one glove and then, the other glove. So, yeah, we will be waiting with bated breath to see GFL's next move. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm dead wrong. I want them to be successful. We did get another announcement. Karate Combat is making its way over to Russia for a late March card. It looks like we got Mohamed Makhayev, Guram Katuteladze on the card. Guram making his KC debut. Mohamed Makhayev returning to the pit after a highlight reel KO. Free on YouTube. March 27th, KC 60 in Russia. You in?
I'll watch.
Yeah.
I like karate.
I got to support Guram wherever he goes.
Yeah, for sure. I like Karate Combat. I tune it I don't think of Karate Combat as a premium product. I don't think that's like a spoiler for anybody, but I find it very enjoyable. I like what they do. We saw with the Zion Clark and Walter Walker thing that they have a good sense of humor about it. They're interested in doing these things. I kind of am okay. I'm cool with what Karate Combat's with the space they occupy in combat sports. So I'll tune in for most of the stuff that they do. I tune into Karate Combat. Same as now I tune into BKFC. They're one that I keep up with.
You figured out a user and pass for Fox Nation this weekend yet?
Raf?
Yeah.
Nah, you gotta maybe screen share that with me.
I got you, bro. One last announcement, and it comes from within these walls. Uncrowned has been named an AP Sports Editor finalist for event coverage around the passing of Hulk Hogan. Very proud of what the team has been able to do here. The best source for all your combat sports needs and coverage. All of us very proud here of the team. Over on the .com side, led by Shaheen Al-Shadi, all the writers involved as well. Pete C. Carroll, Chuck Mendenhall, Darshan Desai, Anthony, everyone is absolutely killing it.
Yeah, uncrowned.com is incredible. Ariel is really proud of what they've been able to put together there. I think it's the best combat sports site on the net, bar none. Number one unbiased news source, as we always like to tout and cite. Congratulations to everybody who was involved in that. It really is great, and shout out to Editor-in-Chief Shaheen Al-Shadi for keeping it all together.
We got a clap noise, Frankie, somewhere. Come in.
Oh, wow, congrats.
Thank you, Armin. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, let's move to this weekend. UFC Mexico going down in La Ciudad. Brandon Moreno, Loner Kavanaugh, the headliners. I asked you last week for UFC Houston, what is your
rating?
Scale of 1 to 10 on excitement for that one? You said about a 5.5. What do you say now for UFC Mexico City?
2 feels very disrespectful.
2's a little bit disrespectful, bro.
I'm gonna say 3.
Okay, 3. I am not trying to be a hater. These are just facts of the card. The smallest favorite on the entire card is -180. That's Aileen Perez. Everyone else is -220 or larger. 9 fights where the favorite is -300 or larger. 4 fights where the favorite is -625 or larger.
Yeah.
A lot of lopsided. 6 debuting fighters on the card. So 6 of the fights. 17 fighters on the card have 3 or fewer UFC fights in their career.
Yep. I'm starting to see the picture you're painting.
And 10 fighters are 500 or under in their UFC career.
Yeah. Where are you at?
Eric Silva, Chris Moutinho, and Jose Medina are a combined 0-8 in the promotion.
Whoosh. Is 3 fair?
I would say like a 4. It's very similar to last weekend. Like the top 3 fights. Last week's main event was much better. But what I'm saying is it's similar to last weekend. The top 3 fights I'm looking forward to, and the top 3 fights last week delivered
for sure. But here's the big difference in that: Fluffy versus Sean Strickland
is bigger than Brandon Moreno
and has stakes and means something. I'll watch any Brandon Moreno fight. There's no reason for him to be fighting Loner Kavanaugh. I'll watch any Chito Vera fight. Marlon Vera versus David Martinez does nothing for me.
Hold your thoughts on that.
All right.
Hold your thoughts on that essay. We'll get to that in the co-main event. Main event, Brandon Moreno versus Loner Kavanaugh. Loner Kavanaugh obviously stepping in on short notice. Asu Almabayev having to pull out. Gets the former champ, Brandon Moreno, in his hometown at elevation on short notice. This is a tall task. Last time out, he was knocked out by Charles Johnson. Looked great in the first round, looked decent in the second round. And then a bunch of shots to the body. Comes out of the pocket with his hands down and gets absolutely flatlined by Charles Johnson. Is this too much of a step up in competition for Loner Kavanaugh?
Yes. I don't believe Brandon Moreno is at the point in his career where he will lose to Loner Kavanaugh. I just don't believe that. I know he lost to Tatsuro Taira, but he lost to Tatsuro Taira when, after looking pretty effective at thwarting his attack, he got to the ground, and then Tatsuro Taira did what he does to everybody on the ground, right? I don't take a ton away from that, and other than Taira is an elite grappler, a fantastic grappler, and Brandon Moreno lost that exchange. Brandon Moreno is fucking amazing. Like, he's just an incredible striker. He's an incredible grappler. He's so good at mixing the martial arts. I just don't think that Loner Kavanaugh is of that level from what I've seen so far. And so I don't see why this fight is the fight.
I think it's a circumstantial thing that they didn't have anyone else to plug him in there, and they had already built a card in Mexico around Brandon Moreno.
Yeah, for sure. Like, that's the reason Brandon Moreno is still on the card. But you just talked about Charles Johnson, who had beaten him. Charles Johnson offered to fight this fight. Like, that would have made more sense to me.
Kyoji Horiguchi also
Kyoji Horiguchi said, let me win this fight and I'll fill in. That fight makes a lot more sense to me. And he 100% could have fought here. Like, it wouldn't have been crazy. My level of interest in this fight is not very high, other than to see if Brandon Moreno is still as good as I think he is, which I believe he is.
The difference in the level of competition is glaring, and the amount of competition. Brandon Moreno, almost 35 professional fights. Yeah. This will be Loner Kavanaugh's 11th. We're going from Antoine Ho, Jose Ochoa, Felipe Dos Santos, and a knockout loss to Charles Johnson, up to Brandon Moreno, who has fought everybody in this division. Like,
at elevation, in Mexico, like, it just, everything's stacked against him. Now, if he pulls it off, it's legendary shit. It's like Loner Kavanaugh came in here, smoked the former champ, and is on his way to superstardom. I have to see it to believe it, though. I'm not buying. I'm not interested until it happens.
He's got the speed. He's young. It was his first career loss. Maybe that woke something up in him. Maybe he's made the improvements. He's a talented kid, and like, underdogs win all the time in this sport. So, like,
sure,
there is always the live dog aspect of it. But yeah, I do agree with you that the level at which Brandon Moreno is in his hometown at elevation, the level of competition that he's fought against, also coming off of a loss in one that he thought he should have been afforded more time before the stoppage came in against Tatsuro Taira. I'm just not sure if he's going to lose 2 in a row.
Yeah, I'm in on Brandon. I think Brandon is still very, very good. In the performances before Taira, Moreno looked like Moreno.
Beating Steve Erceg, beating Amir Albazi, a split decision loss to Royval, a split decision loss to the champ in Pantoja, beating Figueiredo.
The Royval one, I think he thought, that could have been his. So I'm still a believer in Brandon Moreno. At this level, for sure. And I don't know about Loner Kavanaugh. Maybe he is of this level. I haven't seen that yet.
Brandon Moreno making that walk in Mexico never gets old. That is absolutely something I'm looking forward to, and I can't wait to see. Let's go to the co-main event. Marlon Chito Vera taking on David Martinez. David Martinez sporting a cool do this week, half black, half red. You know?
Do we have a photo of it?
It was somewhere. I think. Well, maybe we'll effort. You know. We'll effort
Okay.
There it is. Yeah. Trying to get a little personality, trying to show off a little bit, because I have to ask you: is David Martinez, and this is no shade to him, he's new to the promotion, is David Martinez the least known top 10 UFC fighter in the men's divisions?
Am I allowed to look at the rankings?
Yes. Yeah, please. I want you to. Obviously, he was supposed to fight Kwang Lei back in September. Raul Rosas pulls out of the fight with Rob Font. David Martinez steps in, co-main event, gets the win, vaults himself into the number 10 spot in the bantamweight division. Now, he is not the most known commodity.
All right, so far I'm not having much success finding anything to dispute your claim. The only one that I think would even... There's two that I think would even be remotely in the same realm, and that is Jacqueline Cavalcante at women's bantamweight.
Okay, that's why I said the men's divisions.
Oh, you said men, sorry.
Yeah,
and the other one is...
Down on some of these.
Bogdan Guskov.
Okay, all right.
That's about it. Everybody else is kind of like a known quantity name, somebody of note. He's definitely a sneaky top tenner.
No, and he's nice too. This is no shade to him. He was essentially
this is not a skill thing. This is a profile thing. This is a
he's only been in the organization for 2 fights. Like it's not like he's had time to build a fan base, but it is something that like I think a lot of people this weekend are sort of like, Cheeto's fighting who? Who's David Martinez? It's like, oh, he's the number 10 bantamweight in the world right now, and now he has an opportunity to go to number 9, and he's a massive favorite in the fight. It's surprising. I mean, Cheeto needs this bad, man. He's lost 3 straight, 4 of his last 5. But honestly, you're getting a guy who, similar to the main event, I think he's going to get a big pop in Mexico. I think these guys are going to ride with their own, and he's obviously representing in the co-main event in this spot. I think no matter who's walking out, if they're flying the 3 colors, people are going to be hyped on it.
The other big difference is Martinez is the favorite. Like Cheeto is on a skid, whereas with Moreno, it's like, hey, we think he's good. We think he's still going to be able to hold off a guy like Loner Kavanaugh. Let's see if he can. This one's like, Cheeto really needs to dig it out of the mud here. Like, he's on such a skid.
The way that he stepped up with his against Rob Font, wasn't expected to win that fight. Gets
really
it done.
Impressive performance.
Yeah, a very impressive performance by David Martinez. It makes me believe that with his youth, with like the way that Cheeto's been fighting, is that David Martinez probably wins by 29-28, 29-28.
Yeah, I mean, finishing Cheeto is a hard thing to imagine.
I think it's also just going to be a really close fight. I don't know if someone steps on the gas and pulls away.
Yeah, that feels like the way it has to go. Like, Martinez is able to squeak it out. Marlon's been in this position before. Sometimes he does find it. Sometimes it is just like, I don't think it's ever going to be, holy shit, who's that guy? Marlon is throwing 100 punches, but he's got finishing power, as we've seen, and if he can find the moment, if he can find the strike, he's always dangerous. So let's see if Cheeto can do it one last time. But I would favor Martinez.
We'll see. The hair's going to be looking cool for David Martinez.
What about Cheeto? What does he look like right now? He's always looking completely different.
And it doesn't even matter, because whatever he looks like right now, he'll look different.
Yeah, by the fight day.
On Saturday evening. Let's go to the featured bout of the night. Daniel Zellhuber taking on King Green. We still going with King Green, Frank?
Damn straight we are.
Damn straight. Daniel Zellhuber, in his UFC career, 3-3. Lost to Trey Ogden as a -390. Lost to Michael Johnson as a -850. Now finds himself once again as a -500.
It feels like he's always minus insane numbers in every single one of his fights.
He's been a favorite in all 6 of his UFC fights.
But like a big favorite.
Yeah, pretty big favorite. His other loss was to Esteban Rivovics as a -190.
Yeah.
To me, you can't lose this fight, man. You cannot lose another one as a gigantic favorite and fall below 500 in the UFC.
He's supposed to be a big prospect. I would like to see that happen, but he falters in these spots. And I don't know if it's a mental thing. I don't know if it's just, the holes in his game are being exposed or whatever it is. But like, I'm looking at -500 next to his name, and I'm like, these are the fights he loses. Like, and King Green is a veteran who could make him like sweat. So I don't know if it would feel crazy to lay anything on a -500 Daniel Zellhuber. He should get this done though.
Okay, I think he should get it done. Part of me feels like it's like Vegas, like, yeah, we dare you to take Bobby Green. Yeah, you saw his last fight, minus 850, and he lost. Now it's minus 500. I think, go ahead, take Bobby Green, and like then Zell Huber ends up rolling. But yeah, man, you lose this fight.
No, that would
That's
be very
3 in
bad.
a row. Then you're 3 and 4 in the UFC. I wouldn't be like, would it be crazy to say that they cut him after this if he loses?
I don't know what his contract's like, so that's probably going to be the dependent thing where it's like, if he's not getting paid that much, maybe not. Maybe you keep him around. But it would definitely kill the, his nickname is Golden Boy. Like, you're
Well, yeah,
just
he was
not
undefeated when he entered the organization, then lost to Trey Ogden.
You're just not that guy if he loses here. This is the fight that they give you that you beat King Green, and then it's like, okay, I've got a big name on my resume, on to the next one. If you lose here, it could be catastrophic.
Edgar Shirez taking on Felipe Boons. Edgar Shirez, I'm excited for it essentially because he's the favorite. I think he's going to win this fight. And when he does win, it's exclusively by finish in violent fashion.
I like an Edgar Shirez fight. I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
Imanol Rodriguez debuting against Kevin Borjas. He's only 6-0, but he's been knocking everybody out. I'm interested to see him make that jump to the UFC level. And Borjas back against the wall, 1-3, needs it. So hopefully it leads to fireworks.
Yeah, I think he's going to impress in his debut.
Santiago Luna, who we know Pizzi is very big on. Beautiful KO last September against Kwang Lei, who David Martinez was supposed to fight on that card. He gets Angel Pacheco, who lost on Contender Series, lost in his debut against Colin Lockraine. Feels like he needs to get it done here. And if he ends up on the wrong end of a KO, I can't imagine he'll be long for the organization.
Yeah, it does feel like a bit of this card is like clearing out some things. Like you talked about how big like some of the favorites are. I think there's maybe some walking papers in some of these matchups, and I don't know if they, are going to be too hard pressed about it. Did you know Santiago Luna's only 21?
Young, yeah,
What
young
the
buck.
fuck?
I
That's
think he was
crazy.
up for our, Bilal Muhammad award last year.
Yeah.
I think we discussed him. He's a minus 625. Ryan Gandra's a minus 725. Christian Quinones is a minus 700. Francis Marshall is a minus 725. You have some giant favorites. Imanol Rodriguez is a minus 450. Daniel Zellhuber is a minus 500. Like you have some gigantic favorites on this card.
Is Quinones really that big of a favorite?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I think some of these are squash masters.
I know, but Moutinho is like, look, don't get me wrong. I know Moutinho's UFC run has been very bad, no doubt. But it's not like Quinones has been like that much better.
I know, but Chris Moutinho he's 0-3 and has been finished in all 3 of his fights.
Well, what's Quinones? Let me look at the record. Hold on.
Christian Quinones is 1-2 in the UFC and has been
finished in 2 of them. So how is that?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. Like the card is just
Yeah, it's ass. It's ass.
Jose Medina is taking on Ryan Gandra, and Jose Medina lost on Contender Series, got signed, is 0-3 in the UFC, and is somehow getting another fight. Patchy Mix, go fuck off, man.
This, as I said, this feels like a bit of a walking paper card where it's like some of these guys they're just trying to get one more in.
I guess
so we
we're
can
finishing the contracts or whatever.
Yeah, or
he lost on Contender Series and he got a 4-fight contract. Is that what you're telling me? He lost on Contender Series, then lost in his debut.
Not even like finishing the contract, but more just like you got one more shot here.
Jose Medina has been a plus 520, a plus 550, a plus 350, a plus 320, and now he's a plus 400.
That's rough
against the debuting Ryan Gandra.
Not easy.
Aileen Perez taking on Macy Zong.
Okay, that's a fight.
It's a fight.
That's
the smallest favorite on the entire card. I am looking forward to that one.
That's a fight with some stakes. At
What do you
least
think?
I
We
like
see
that.
some twerking? I mean, this is a top 10 matchup.
I don't know. I'm kind of I'm uncertain about Aileen Perez. Like
she's number 6. She's number 7 right now in women's.
What is Macy? What is
8? 8.
Yeah, I think she's skilled. I think she's talented. Macy's always been somebody who I had higher ambitions for. Like I've always been like just with her physicality. Like she's long. I don't know what to make of this one. This is one of the more intriguing fights on the card, which is kind of crazy to think about. But I think maybe Macy can get this done. You?
I'm leaning Aileen Perez. I think
Yeah?
good. Yeah. Christian Quinones, Chris Moutinho. I mean, that could be a loser leaves town one. I can't imagine Moutinho's going to.
This could be a winner leaves town one at this point.
Douglas Silva de Andrade, a 13-fight UFC vet, and he's debuting Javier Reyes.
Yeah. Wow, congrats.
Congrats. Regina Taryn.
Oh wow, congrats.
She's making waves. She's debuting this weekend from Combate against Ernesta Caracati.
I like Kill Bill as the nickname. 21 years old.
Lanky.
Yeah, lanky.
5'7".
Oh, her opponent's 5'9".
Yeah.
Heavy-handed.
Catch weight 130.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Why?
According to Tapology. I think this is short notice.
Oh, okay.
I believe so.
I like that.
Unless I'm mistaken. Eric Silva. 0-2 in the promotion, did not look good in either of the fights, and has taken 2 years off. He gets Francis Defier Marshall.
There was an Eric Silva that you missed the era for. A promising young, handsome man. Didn't end up being champion or anything, but he had a good run.
Well, this one is 38.
This is not that Eric Silva.
And he's 0-2 in the promotion. And then the curtain jerker, we'll throw it over to Frank for the breakdown. Wes Schultz versus Damian Pinas.
Yes, I'm so glad you threw it over to me. Schultz is actually going to go into the first round against Pinas, and there's going to be some fighting. They have two of them. Pinas. The two will fight until the second round, which then will lead to the third round, and someone will be selected at the end.
Without the sex.
Is this that type of show? Is that what we do now?
Without the sex.
Wait, so you're predicting a decision in this one?
Absolutely. They're going to go the distance.
Okay. I love it. I love it. Speaking of Frank's predictions, that is the UFC Mexico card. Let's do Parlay Pals and bets for the weekend. Already got Pizzi's pick. He took the aforementioned Santiago Luna. Frankie, why don't you kick us off, man?
I want Perez and Jason to go over 2.5. I feel like they're going to, and that is my parlay piece.
Looks like Jordan's chomping on an apple back there.
You know it. Want to ask the question that you know the answer to?
Did you wash it?
You already know.
I'm telling you, man, you're playing with fire, dude. If you get sick from fruit, it's gonna make you so sick. It's gonna change your life. It's gonna change your life, man.
You know,
It'll never be the same.
Eric's kids did bully me one time, and he sent me a video of her saying, "You have to wash your fruit."
Yeah, Cece was like, you have to wash your fruit.
Since then, my wife has only washed her fruit because she said she can't be bullied by a 5-year-old.
At that time, she might have been like 3 or 4.
My brother's in-laws didn't wash a batch of blueberries and got so sick they had to go to the ER. It was, I'm talking, it's gonna be violent, Jordan. It's gonna be violent.
Connor's having PTSD flashbacks of this shit. I've had
food poisoning, neurovirus, whatever you want to call it. I've had it twice in my life, and I remember both of them quite vividly. It's I know I got at least one more in me too before I leave this earth, and it's not going to be pleasant.
Now, does Jordan have?
I think Jordan is a kid similar to you. You've never had food poisoning.
I don't think so.
You'd know it if you did.
I've never had it.
Jordan.
This is why you're innocent. This is why you see it like this.
Jordan has a long history of not washing fruit and still being okay. Does that rack up in his favor? Is it
you're just playing with fire? That's all I'll say. You're just playing.
I will say there are some fruit that does get washed in the house.
What, a banana? You rinse off your banana.
Those are gross. Grapes get washed.
Why?
That's smart.
Why do grapes get washed but not apples?
Because I'm not in charge of it.
Bro, dirty ass tree falling on the ground, getting kicked around, shipped to you, and you're not even just gonna like rinse it off.
You go apple picking, there's no water to wash it off. You just pick it off the tree and you eat it like God intended.
I wait till I get home.
Nah, man, I actually throw it in a basket and then wash all of them when I get home.
Yeah.
You go apple picking and wait till you get home to eat an apple?
Yeah, motherfucker. What's the ruch? What am I hurried for?
It's enjoyable. It's fresh.
Bruh, you want to know what I'm
fresh
like?
later too.
No. It doesn't hit the same.
It's exactly the same.
Pick it off that tree and
apples do not taste better one day off the.
I rip a rinse on the top of the can, dude. Before I go in, I rip like a
Actually, growing up, my mom actually didn't even let us drink out of the can because they were so dirty.
Bruh, anything that's getting shipped to you is getting touched by so much shit.
The cans at like delis used to have like actual like fungus on them. They were so dirty. Wait, but Jordan, I know you say you're not in control of it because that sounds like somebody else in the house is washing the grapes. Would you not wash the grapes? It was up to you though.
See, grapes are kind of gross because in the grocery store you do see people touching them to try it.
You don't think the apples get the same treatment?
It's all.
No, don't
gross.
People pick it up like I do in the store? You pick up the plastic bag, you put your hand in the bag, and you grab the fruit.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's what they do.
You know how many people touch that? Like, would you eat a hamburger if it was shipped to you like that, and everyone just get their grimy paws on it? And It's crazy work, man. It's crazy work.
So who you got in the parlay?
My pick is I'm gonna go with you know what? I'm thinking I'm gonna choose Francis Marshall inside the distance. The fire marshal.
I like it.
Ends the run of Eric Silva.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I've already kind of projected this, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm going with Brandon Moreno. I think he gets it done.
Wow, the baby assassin.
Yeah, Assassin Baby.
Sorry, I was thinking of Dana White's new nickname, the baby assassin.
We're literally beating up babies.
I love how rushed he sounds when he says it. We're literally beating up babies. Shout out
This is like beating up babies. Beating up babies.
Shout out to the graphics team. Quick on the spot, plus 265. That gets us back into the grain. We've lost 2 in a row.
I like this.
Do we need to talk about the recap? I think it was Frankie last week that cost us. I think it was Pizza the week before?
Yeah.
Graphics department slacking. They didn't make a recap.
No,
you know
no
what?
King Green pick from Frankie. I feel like he's off the bandwagon.
The graphics department actually did make a recap, and they forgot to send it.
Fucking graphics department.
Fucking piece of shit graphics.
Oh, wow, congrats.
All right, we continue. Go from that great card to a great pound for pound we've been waiting to do for a long time. I think the fans are really going to enjoy this one.
You have a pick, though, right?
You have a parlay you want to share?
Oh, yeah, I do have a bet. I forgot about this.
What is going on today?
I don't know, man. Have you looked at the card, Jordan? It's something.
Yeah, no, I asked you guys, should we even talk about it? And you're like,
of course we got to talk about it.
I feel like we gave it the appropriate amount of attention.
Watch it. Are you kidding me? I am the slop eater. I am the man that when people are like, if you want to see the cards improve, stop watching. No, I will be watching. I will be sat down for Regina Taryn's walk. I can tell you that much.
The same way you guys thought that Frank would take King Green. I made a specific topic bar for Frank, but he went to the restroom during the King Green conversation.
Actually would have been bullshit if he had taken King Green. I'll say that much.
Why?
It would have been bullshit. All right, my parlay, going with heavy favorites. It's hard unless you want to trust one of these dogs. Francis Marshall, Santiago Luna, Edgar Shirez, minus 125. And that's the bet. Done and dusted. UFC 326 next week is shaping up to be a banger, though. I will say that. I don't want everyone to be like, oh, you're negative. All you ever do is shit on the promotion. That's false. That's false. We prop this promotion up plenty. Just not exactly for this weekend's card. All right, so like I was saying, great card means we have a great pound for pound, one we've really been waiting to share with the audience. In honor of first-time main eventer Loner Kavanaugh, pound for pound loners, pound for pound lone wolf characters in cinema, in novels and books and things like that.
I love how you say wolf.
Yeah, lone.
It's like wolf.
Lone wolves. Lone wolves. Loners is the pound for pound. As we get ever closer to sunsetting this entire segment. Frank, what's the order?
The order is Frank, Rick, and then Connor.
Rip it, brother. Rip it, man. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's have some fun with it, man. Let's have some fun with it.
My pound for pound loners starts with number 5. This is Elliot Alderson.
Oh, I love this.
The show Mr. Robot.
Hell yeah.
Seen here being alone on a New York train.
Well, there's a lady next to him, but yes.
He's obviously not engaged with the people next to him. Going to number 4 is Deckard. This is the Blade Runner from the movie Blade Runner.
Ah, very nice.
Seen here alone, hanging out alone. Love him.
Is there any characteristics or qualities of being a loner that you want to express about these people, or just because they're pictured alone?
I did just
here?
point out that they are alone.
Yeah, he is he operates by himself. People try to join him and help him, but he ultimately falls in love with a robot, and that's why Frank loves it so
I don't
much.
think there was any love in that. Number 3
in the scene.
If you think that's love, bro, I got a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn. Sid Barrett is
Which
number
one?
3. You can have the Williamsburg Bridge, actually. Sid Barrett, one of the original founding members of Pink Floyd, notoriously went and experimented with some drugs, started acting real weird during the shows. There was takes where he would just...
Holy shit, that's the same guy?
Yeah, I didn't know where to flip it to that so quickly. But same guy, originally would come out to a show after he had a bad run with some LSD or something. It would just sit in the middle of the stage, and the rest of the band had to like play around him. And they were
wouldn't be playing.
He wouldn't be playing. He wouldn't be doing
Holy
anything.
fuck.
And
Okay.
the band felt like, damn, like he is our creative force. Like he wrote these songs. This is what got us any sort of following. They finally made the tough call. I mean, tough to them objectively. I don't see what was so difficult. They had to let him go. They replaced him with David Gilmour. And then he just kind of disappeared. Nobody knew anything about him. And then one day he shows up at the rehearsal studio where they're actually writing a new song, Wish You Were Here. And he shows up looking like this. Yeah, I'm pointing. Yeah, that's Sid Barrett. And nobody recognized him. Like he was there, funnily enough, like eating an apple or something. And the band just kind of worked around him because they were like, who is this guy? He's 29 in this. And he decided to shave his head and his eyebrows. And it was kind of par for course where they're like, oh, whatever happened to that guy? Well, this is what happened to him. And they claimed that was the last time they ever saw him until he died of pancreatic cancer alone. Kind of sad, but the loner. Number 2.
Any argument to make because he was in a band?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Technically wasn't
I was gonna
alone.
say that.
I think that's a bit of a stretch because the point is, after he's out of the band, he was alone. Died alone of pancreatic cancer. No one even recognized him.
I think there
I
is
can
a
recap it all again, though.
No, I do think there is a debate to be had about the length of
So Sid Barrett,
time
one of the
alone that
original
needs to be-
members of Pink Floyd, started to do this thing alone where he would go onto the stage.
Please stop.
Number 2
my
is
ears.
the driver from the movie Drive.
Y'all, shut up.
Pictured here, you're seeing him alone,
Sick
looking at
jacket.
himself in the window. If you haven't seen this movie, you
Yeah,
should.
fucking sick jacket, sick movie, sick soundtrack.
And number 1, Mr. Kurt Cobain. Man wanted to be alone so much that even when he found fame, he struggled with drug addiction and depression, and we know how it ended, allegedly, but it is still a really sad circumstance.
That's a heavy allegedly.
After this happened, there were other members in the Seattle scene that decided that they needed to step out of the limelight too, because the art came from them being alone, and then sharing it with millions of people apparently wasn't something they were ready for.
I love it.
That's my list.
Very music
Can I ask-
heavy.
Yeah,
Very
can I
music
ask you a
heavy.
genuine question? Are they ranked by their loneliness? Are they ranked by your esteem for them? And they happen to be loners.
If I had to answer that, I'd say esteem.
You esteem them,
Yeah.
they are loners, and you
I don't think
you are
we're
ranking them
ranking
by
people
esteem.
on how lonely they are.
Well, I wasn't sure because I really don't know. Like,
Yeah,
you
I
didn't really
mean-
give much of an explanation about the loner part.
You rank by loneliness. It'd become a sad game, you know? It'd become a sad game.
All right, it was me.
Rip it, bro.
All right, number 5. Oh man, I'm so excited about this one.
I can't
Number
wait.
5. Number 5. Does the name John Creasy mean anything to you?
Not a thing.
John Creasy is the private security from Man on Fire, played by Denzel Washington, one of the greatest films in cinema history. He's a former military man, moves into security for a wealthy family, including a little girl who gets kidnapped, and it's a full-on take out the baddies revenge movie. One of the best. Have you ever seen this movie? I
haven't, no.
Oh my Lord. It's
fire.
This is literal fire.
Man on fire.
Man on fire. He's one man on a mission taking out armies of dudes to get this little girl back. And it's just incredible cinema. But it's a very classic, like Jason Statham-y type, one man on a singular mission to recover a person. Because they meant something to him, a little bit of heart in there, but a full-on loner, works alone, operates alone, just slaughters everybody.
Love it.
It's an incredible movie.
No better movies than that.
I just watched the new Jason Statham yesterday. I mean, it's
My bald goat.
It's fucking great. It is fucking great. Jason Statham has found a lane as like this solitary man with a heart of gold. But this one, John Creasy, if you know, you know. Man on Fire. Number 4. This gentleman means a lot to me. He was formative in my childhood. That is one Solid Snake.
Oh yeah, legend.
Solid Snake, real name David.
Hell yeah.
He is the clone of his predecessor, Big Boss. But all he does, his entire mission is just to expose what has been done by the Sons of Liberty and all the complicated backstory and nature of Metal Gear. But there is nothing that we do not see him showing affection for anybody. We do not see family. We do not see anything from him but singular track and mission completion, which is to kill everybody involved in this or discover the truth behind it. And we see him here aged. Apparently, the story goes that after he has completed this mission, he just disappears. And that's what a loner would do. Solid Snake legend. Number 3. This is the final girl. There are others. I will hear about other final girls. This is the final girl for me. It's Laurie Strode from the Halloween series. She has family relations. She has lived a life. But due to the trauma that she suffered, she then inevitably decides that she must be alone because she can't form these bonds, and because if anything were to happen to them, it is her fault. So she becomes a survivalist, like kind of living on her own.
This is very quintessential loner.
Loner behavior, kind of a messy house, but she's got that knife ready in case Michael Myers shows up. Love Halloween. Love Laurie Strode. She is my final girl. Shout out to Laurie. Number 2. This man is alone, operates alone, works alone, and chosen over another person who I thought about putting as my number 2 because of the extent of time that he is going to be alone. And that's conceivably eternity, because he's Blade and he's a vampire.
Hell yeah.
And he's going to be around for a long, long time. And there's going to be people that come in and out of his life, but he is going to be eternal and slaying vampires for as long as he walks this earth, which should be for a very long time. Shout out to Wesley Snipes.
What about
I mean,
Whistler?
Shout out to him, bro.
That's kind of a friend, but like,
what about the entire band around the Pink Floyd guy, bro?
So again, he would show up.
Whistler's going to die, by the way.
At one
He's
point.
just sitting there by himself.
At one point.
Blade is sick. Blade is a gangster. Love Blade. But I knew right away that I had to have number 1 as number 1. He's been referenced before by me in other lists. He is the one. He is the only. He is Bruce Wayne, a.k.a. Batman. The loner. Look, there's Robin. There's Catwoman. There's
Alfred.
Batgirl. There's Alfred. There's all kinds of people in his life. But at the end of the day, this is a man tormented.
Nah, bro. This man stands alone.
This is the loner. This is the number 1 overlooking the city. All the responsibility, everything falls on his shoulders. He's the richest man conceivably in all of this universe, and he doesn't care about spending a dime of it because all he cares about is cleaning up the streets.
Here's a real question.
Yeah.
Who's the more loner of the loner? Bruce Wayne or Batman?
Batman.
Or, I mean, because Bruce Wayne wears the face, right? He'll go to the thing, but it's all a ruse.
That's what I'm saying.
It has to be Batman based on that. Then the question becomes, is Batman the character or is Bruce Wayne the character?
See, that's some
some
Sid Barrett shit.
That's a good fucking point. That's a good fucking point right there. That's not bad.
But shout out to Batman. I mean,
shout out to Batman, King of Gotham.
The loner.
We got Gotham right behind us.
Shout out.
Okay. All right. I went similar to you. I went like characters rather than like real figures in life. My number 5, I start. We don't even know her real name. The Bride from Kill Bill, just on a mission similar to some of your characters to kill everyone in her path until she is granted freedom. Until what do they say? She kills Bill, you know?
Until she kills Bill.
Shout out to The Bride, though. One of the coolest characters in all of cinema. Kill Bill 1 and Kill Bill 2.
I just watched the whole bloody affair. I mean, it is so good.
So good.
It's so good.
It's so good. Number 4, I go to the video game world. One of my favorites, we were talking about it earlier today, Master Chief. A man who operates on his own.
With Cortana in his head.
Yeah.
That's AI, though.
That's though, man. Like, actually, I think that makes him quintessential loner. I think that really makes him resonate with today. Cortana and AI, similar to a Grok, a Claude. Funny how they all have these cute names.
Didn't Microsoft make Cortana like a search or AI or something?
But Cortana was also the personality of the woman that found him for the Project Spartan. So it's not actually AI. It's literally her, like
uploaded though.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not actually her.
His mother figure.
Right, motherly figure, an AI version of the woman that founded him. I guess you were in the bathroom or something when I asked if everyone had played Halo. Not many takers on it.
Played Halo.
You played the first one.
1, 2, and 3. Excited for Marathon that's coming out.
What is it?
It was Bungie's first game, which was, funnily enough, made for Apple computers. They were making Halo for an Apple computer as well when Microsoft was like, we just got into this console game. We want to take this license. We want to have this come out the day that the Xbox comes out. So that's a little bit of history, but go check out Marathon, Bungie's original game being remastered and re-released for everyone to play.
Oh, Marathon is not a Halo game. It's okay. Got it.
Shout out to Bungie. Number 3, I go back to cinema. I don't need Django. I don't need The Mandalorian. I need the one true bounty hunter, Boba Fett from the Star Wars series. I mean, he's Darth Vader's right-hand man. Like, he's the man for the job. One of the scariest bounty hunters in all the galaxy. Sick helmet. Sick design. Shout out to Boba Fett. Coolest name out of all of them, too.
Cool name.
Gun for hire.
Din Djarin would beat the shit out of him, though.
That's okay. I'm not focused on that.
The Mandalorian is a gangster.
I didn't see that in the Mandalorian. I've only watched the old school movies. Episode 1, still the GOAT. Shout out. Number 2. You don't think so?
Oh, fuck.
I mean, Attack of the Clones is the best.
Oh, this is all.
What was episode 3? Revenge of the Sith?
Oh yeah.
Only one of them has pod racing, and that's episode 1. So.
You fucking right, Jordan.
Point.
That's the order right there.
Pod racing.
1, 2, and 3. That is the order.
Did you have the game on N64? There was a pod racing game.
You beat me to it. I loved it. What was the character's name? Saboba?
Oh, you know.
Shout out, man. Yeah, the pod racing game, and you could upgrade your racer. You know, they're actually coming out with a new one for the Switch. I think I'm going to get it.
I think I got to get a Switch.
Gotta.
So good.
This is disgraceful.
No,
don't talk about the first 3 episodes.
That's the proper order.
They're shit.
If you're ranking
They're
movies.
shit.
1, 2, and 3.
They're shit.
Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 3.
And then 4?
No. Then you go to 7, 8, 9.
Rogue One, and then 4.
4,
now
5,
you're
6.
talking. Actually, 8, 9, 7, 4, 5, 6. That's the proper order.
Wait, fifth is the worst. Fifth is the worst. So
Who's better?
4,
Who's
6,
better?
5.
Is the worst?
In the OG series, name one character better than Jar Jar Binks.
Fuck! I thought you were gonna be serious.
Come on, man. Name
Misa
one.
like
Always a
this
bigger
list.
fish.
Misa like this list.
Misa like.
Misa like this list. Misa like episode 1. Darth Maul double bladed.
All right, that was great. Duel of the Fates is.
The Duel of the Fates is one of the best battles
elite.
in all of cinema. Obviously,
I agree.
In Star Wars. Number 2. Rick already mentioned it. The Protector of Gotham. The man. The myth. Batman.
Yeah.
The best. I mean, like, he is like, look at this. This guy doesn't look like he had many friends. Doesn't look like he's hanging out with a lot of
Is
people.
that his mom's necklace?
Yeah.
He is a loner. The greatest meme is like him walking on the roof, like overlooking Gotham, and it's just like me when XYZ happens. Yeah. It's too good, man. Shout out to Batman animated series, Christopher Nolan trilogy. The new one with Pattinson, though, I guess we're just going to take like 8 years in between each film. That's whatever. Who else was there? George Clooney?
Michael Keaton.
Oh,
who's
shout out to
my
Michael
Batman.
Those Clooney ones
Val
are the
Kilmer.
best.
Are they?
No, what? See, now you're just fucking around. You're just doing a
The one with
controversial,
Mr. Freeze and Arnold
shitty.
Schwarzenegger? What was that, Batman and Robin?
Arnold
Batman and Robin.
Schwarzenegger's
Let's
the
call it
Freeze.
Batman and Robin.
Classic.
Fuck
I'm
off.
sick
Fuck
from
off.
school.
Fuck off.
Put that in the VCR.
I mean, it's the Christopher Nolan trilogy. It's not even close.
They don't even have the nipple thing on the outfit.
On the suit?
That one.
On what suit?
Was it Clooney? Had the
Clooney had
nipple
nipples,
cutout. Ooh, that was weird. Nipple cutout on his bat suit.
It wasn't a cutout. It was just the nipples were
Can you
on
imagine
there.
if it was a cutout? Yeah, Batman, you seem a little cold. Yes.
Shout
it's
out
freezing in here.
Alicia.
Oh, yeah,
Silverstone.
that was the
Oh
whole
yeah,
point of.
because Mr. Freeze was there.
All right, so it was accurate.
Yeah.
He got shot by the freeze and nips popped up. Shout out to Batman. Shout out to Clooney. Number 1, I cannot believe that I'm the only one that has this one on the list. This is the all-timer. Frankie, you actually disappointed me not having this. I thought you actually knew ball like that. The most dangerous man in the world, John Wick.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Seen here, surrounded by his friends.
Oh, are those friends? The people with the gun?
He
to
loves
his head?
guns so much, they're like, John,
for
John,
sure.
you forgot this.
For sure. The guy that constantly is like, leave me the fuck alone. I work by myself. I don't want anything to do with you. Frank, you dragged us to a movie on your birthday last year that was like Ana de Armas trying to befriend John Wick and work with him. And the whole movie, he was like, man, fuck off.
Ballerina, baby.
Shout out to Ballerina. That's a classic. People are going to go back and watch that one for sure. Great choice. No doubt. It was a classic.
Okay, I had 3 that were no-brainers that I thought everybody would have or somebody would have.
Okay.
But I didn't have because I have affinity for other ones more. John Wick was on that list. There are two more that I was like, I think these have to be on a list, but they were not on mine because they must be number 6, 7, and 8. Number 1, Wolverine, Logan. I mean, he's he's in the X-Men, but he's the outsider. He's the black sheep. He's also much like Blade, going to live for a really long time and outlive all the rest of them. He doesn't like to have the connections. He's prickly.
He loves Rogue.
And then, but is that requited? And is he ever going to be with Rogue?
Good point.
And that makes him even more of a loner. He's kind of just upset about that whole situation. He loves Jean Grey. He can't be with Jean Grey. He's in rough shape. And another one, James Bond.
James Bond is great.
James Bond's a real
Now, is there an argument to make that because he's part of the intelligence agency?
Those are not friends.
He's famously always with women.
Yeah, but I mean,
Casino Royale.
It's not a long relationship with these.
No, they're in love, like Deckard from Blade Runner.
Oh, Deckard! Don't even get me started. You made me watch that whole movie just for him to fall in love with his AI chatbot. It's cinema, dude.
Okay.
2049 blows it out of the water.
Let me just tell you something. Go see Man on Fire soon.
Okay.
Because that shit will deliver. Promise.
I'm looking forward to it. Kratos from God of War.
He has a son.
Does he die though? Doesn't his family die? Isn't that the thing? Or am I making that up?
Something like that.
No one put 1?
1?
The loneliest number.
Wow.
Hey.
It's the difference between being lonely and being a loner, right?
Mute Jordan's mic.
I have no control over it.
Frankie, we get any voicemails this week, bro?
I think I saw 1 or 2.
Ahoy, hoy.
What's up, fellas? It's Brian from Maryland.
What's up, Brian?
I remember last week this guy called in about getting his new girl to watch watching BKFC with the new girl. I have a story kind of from the other end of the spectrum.
Okay.
A couple of years ago, I was actually breaking up with my girlfriend. We were in my bedroom, which is connected to the living room.
Okay.
And as we are in the thick of breaking up, tears, why are you doing this? I love you so much. My roommate, who is in the living room, turns on McGregor versus Habib. And while my girlfriend is crying on my bed, I hear, the notorious Conor McGregor! And not only do I hear Buffer's intro, but I hear my roommate, who's a diehard Conor McGregor fan, cheering on Conor McGregor while the fight is happening. And let me add, this was in April of 2022. This is like 4 years after the Habib fight happens. He knows that Conor loses.
He's watching
a replay of takedowns in the middle of the fight. It was one of the funnier moments, and listening to the guy talk about BKSC with the new girl, whenever that was, sparked my memory. So thanks for all the great content. Appreciate you guys. And change the way you chip with my dad's chips. Thanks.
Change the way you chip with my dad's chips.
Let's check out my dad's.
My dad's chips. All right. That was a hilarious story. Thank you so much for sharing it. That is insane that he was rewatching Conor Habib while you're dumping your girlfriend.
Not only that,
4 years later.
But it's 4 years later, so that means that he probably told his boy he's going to be dumping his girlfriend too, right? You don't just do that while you're.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yo, fuck it. Let me throw on that Conor Habib." By the way, big Conor McGregor fan, wanted to watch him lose.
Yeah.
The whole situation is bizarre.
He was cheering him on despite knowing that he gets finished.
That's
okay. My dad's chips.
That's crazy shit.
Look incredible.
They look really cool.
They look unbelievable.
Maryland based, right? It says.
Yo, can we get a shipment of these bad boys? Damn, they got the recipes online. I might just have to make them at home.
No, send us that shipment.
These look unbelievable. My dad's chips.
Send me an email. I want these chips.
Yo, 17 years deep. Whipped feta dip, caramelized onion, and pickled chip dip. Yo, these look incredible, dude. Shout out to my dad's chips. Bunch of recipes on here. What all flavors they have? Barbecue, salt and balsamic vinegar, French onion, jalapeno sriracha, Damn, they even got an unsalted option.
Love that. My dad's chips.
Oh, those are called my granddad's chips, unsalted. Shout out, man. Shout out to my dad's chips. Shout out to you. Shout out to McGregor.
How's it, brothers? This is Homer from the 808.
What's up, bro?
First, want to say the production value on the Tex-Mex Fight Feast was a huge jump. But please don't forget the charm of the handheld mini mic, the ambiance of the patients, and the monologue bloopers. Second, could you detail how this show came into fruition? Aloha.
This show right here, Boys in the Back, or
I think maybe he means like the Fight Feast.
It came to fruition because we were given the knowledge that we have resources here at Yahoo that maybe we weren't capitalizing on to like essentially upgrade the camera equipment and the lighting and everything like that. And then Frankie had a plug-in with the Tex-Mex restaurant, so they were able to open their doors to us when they were closed to everyone else. So we essentially rented it out, and then Andy came along and directed. Rick came along and co-hosted. And that's how it came to be. We're working through. We're settling on what Fight Feast is going to be. Obviously started as a social media series just on the phone, vertical video. Now this is far reaches from that.
You said don't forget the charm of the hand.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking it's like a real high quality camera, like one, and like it sort of is roving and moving with us. And yeah, I do like the kitchen aspect though. I think we need to make that a typical thing.
Who's got in your hands? Is that Cody Rhodes?
No. This is Hornswoggle. Yeah, it's this action figure like goes everywhere.
Articulation
like, broke into a split, kick. So yeah, I don't know how Ariel doesn't end up playing with more of these. They're pretty fun.
Frank had been dying for us to go to Javelina. He kept being like, "You got to go to Javelina. We got to go." Me and him made one attempt. It was closed at that time. And you know what? The son of a bitch was right. It was great.
It was fucking great. The fajitas
great.
were so good. My mom called me and was like, "Next time I come up to New York, we got to go to Javelina."
It was great.
And I was like, "Oh, sweet. I'll tell Frank. He'll come too." She was like, No. Just us.
Dead ass, though.
Jesus.
Boys in the back, the Iowan Lion here again.
What's up, Iowan Lion?
I just finished listening to my call from last week, and oh my goodness, I was off the oxy. I was cringing listening to myself. I sounded so out of it. Feeling a lot better now.
Okay, good.
Quick
man.
story
Good.
time, and it involves you guys.
This was the surgery.
I got married last year.
Okay, congratulations,
and
brother.
I'm from Iowa, obviously, given the nickname.
No, you know what this was?
I planned my bachelor trip around UFC Des Moines. Like, the way it lined up, it was so perfect. I was so excited. And when I learned that you guys were going to be there, I made it my goal for the weekend. If I could just run into you guys and chew your ear off for a minute, it just would have, like, made my life. Anyway, didn't happen. Get home. Watching Fight Feast on the toilet.
Hell yeah.
I remember it very vividly because I've never been more mad in my life. I see myself in the background of Fight Feast, Fong's Pizza in Des Moines.
Shout out to Fong's.
Oh, I lost it. I told my now wife. She doesn't get it, but I was so mad. Anyways, I just would have loved to talk to you guys for a little bit. Troy too. I'm from the
Wow.
Spotify days,
Shout
the
out
Ringer
TST.
days. So
He was with us.
it would have
He was
been
with
really
us.
cool to see all you guys, but I messed it up, man. Anyway, see ya. Thank you guys.
Okay, great call, brother. You're saying that wasn't the surgery dude who had the hernia?
I don't think so. No, this was...
So this guy was just off the oxys.
Yeah, this was you got to go to more local shows.
I'm just going to, in my head, say that this was the guy that had the hernia, and that's why he was off the oxys. Yeah, I don't know, man. If you saw us, I wish you had said,
By
hey.
the way,
we would have loved to talk to you, man.
Either he's emailed or tweeted at me, or there's a second person who also was in the background when we were at Fong's and didn't realize it was us.
And a few people at Fong's came up to us and said, what's up? So that wouldn't be, I don't know. Shout out to Fong's. Really mediocre pizza.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great.
The burger spot was the best. What was it?
By far. Lachelle's.
That shit was fire.
Hey, this is Kat. I'm just calling to keep the string of degenerate female fans going.
Let's go, Kat.
Just listening to a caller this week. But I've been a UFC fan for over 20 years.
Wow.
I'm like Ariel's age, so like whatever the female version of Unc status is, like I'm that lady. But we are out there for the guys who call in or make comments about, wanting to get their girlfriends interested. I don't really have any good advice for you because I spent my whole 20s trying to trick my friends to go into bars to watch UFC fights with me. And now in my 40s, I have 0 female friends that follow the sport.
Oh, okay.
But my husband's a fan. He actually proposed to me at a bar during UFC 124. That was GSP versus Koscheck 2.
Wow.
And we had like octagon cake for our groom's cake at our wedding with little action figures.
Wow, that's incredible.
BJ Penn and Dan Hardy, which were our respective favorite fighters at the time.
Good taste.
Wow.
So just a shout out to all the degenerate females out there. Thanks
Love
for
it.
all the content.
Wow. When you said degenerate, you meant degenerate. Shout out to you, Kat. Octagon
cake is crazy.
That's crazy. Appreciate the call. Appreciate you listening.
Shout out,
means
Kat.
a lot. Thank you. Thank you.
We always get the female callers. I love it.
Keep that streak going.
One every
Or have
week,
we already
at
burned
least.
through? Have we burned through them all?
Nah. Call back.
Hey boys, this is Emil from the A. I got a question for Rick. I was just watching the show and you were talking about the Jacoby Smith stoppage and how it's not his responsibility to even stop punching after the ref says stop. And made me think, so what's the logical conclusion of this? Are you saying that when Cyril Gahn poked Tom Aspinall in the eye, it's not Cyril's responsibility to stop fighting if the ref says stop? Like someone like Keith Peterson literally will have to rip Cyril Gahn off of Tom? That just doesn't make any sense to me. I think it should be the fighter's responsibility to stop when the referee says stop. That's how all sports work. Let me know. Thanks, boys.
Yeah, it's a valid question. The answer to it is you would hope that he stops, right? That is the expectation. That is the hope. But the referee's responsibility is the same whether he stops or does not stop, and that is to protect the athlete who's harmed, right? So if Cyril Gahn pokes Tom Aspinall and the referee says stop, and then Cyril Gahn's mid throwing the next punch and knocks him clean out, is he going to be penalized? Is he going to be fined? Is he going to be suspended? Is Jacoby Smith going to be penalized, fined, or suspended? Unlikely, right? Because that is their duty. They're in the course of the action and trying to hurt the opponent. The referee saying stop is great, and you would hope that people take that cue. But if not, the referee's responsibility is to force them to stop, right? To really physically get in there and make them stop. And so, yes, do I hope that fighters take accountability and responsibility and want to prevent harm for their other fighters? Yes. Whether they do or do not, the referee is the one responsible for that. So that's where it falls. It's not that I'm saying like Jacoby Smith, what a swell guy, I love what he did. My point is the referee's job is to stop that. And saying stop is different than forcing somebody to stop. That's all.
Rick, I didn't know you took so much crow for the apparently hot take Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano could rival the White House. I think it absolutely could. I think that it could even outperform it between like the history that the UFC has of overhyping and under-delivering and then taking the big crowd away versus having a Netflix super packed house, all the glitz and glamour. I think it could absolutely outperform the White House. My question is, as far as like matchmaking for that card, what's GSP up to? Is he under contract for the UFC right now? You know, you could get him out of the off the bench, so to speak, maybe up against Tyron Woodley, do it at 180, 185. I think that would definitely beef up that card and give him a lot of like momentum. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
I think GSP might be when GSP has talked about this like Khabib fight that wasn't to be, it was with the UFC. So I don't know if GSP can do a MMA fight outside the UFC.
Yeah,
but who's like the top? We really haven't dove into this. Who's the top talent that could be on this card that would actually be possible that would elevate it?
I don't know. It's going to be like older retired guys. Who would I be excited to see most?
Well, Nate, right?
Nate, I would love.
Nate would make sense.
He would also be fighting in MMA.
Mike Perry.
Mike Perry, I'm in for. A GSP, I would be in for.
People have said this, and I don't know what the contractual status is. They keep talking about Francis Ngannou, right? They're like,
that would be huge.
He has that one fight deal with the PFL. He has that one fight remaining with the PFL. And when he came on the show, he kept talking about like some spring timeline where it would expire, whether he fought or did not fight. If there's a world where he can get on it, it would make sense. We've obviously heard about Rico Verhoeven, right? Because of the potential signing with the UFC and then the linkage to Anthony Joshua. He's out there. Like, what else is out there? GSP was a name I didn't really think about because I don't know what his contract status is to this point, but like Anderson Silva's out there, right? Like, who else could they beef this up with? Like, what are the names I'm not thinking? Or is that it?
Yeah, and how much are you really beefing it up? How much are we clamoring to see these older people? Francis Ngannou, I'd like to see just because I don't know where he's at in his MMA career, but like GSP, like sure, I'm down. But
GSP would be massive.
Yeah, I mean, he's a huge name, but like he's so far removed from his fighting career at this point.
But he's in such good like he's a guy who's kept care. What about if it was GSP versus Anderson Silva?
Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, I'm in.
I wonder. Whoa.
But like GSP against someone, yeah.
Somebody else, you're not. Woodley versus GSP? Two of the welterweight champions? I don't know about GSP just because I don't know about the contract thing.
Yeah.
Tony? I don't know what his thing like was with Misfits. Maybe they can put him on for MMA.
Tony would be cool.
Misfits does the MMA though now, so it's like it's harder. All right, anyway.
Boys in the back, what's good? This is Nathan, the dairy farmer from Minnesota.
What's up,
How's
Nathan?
it going today? Love listening to you guys.
Appreciate you, man.
First off, Gable Stevenson, Mitch McKee, Brock Lesnar, Logan Storley. What they all got in common. Only the real ones to know. All Minnesota Golden Gophers.
I was just about to say, wrestling.
Shout out. Second out, wrestling coach. Our boys got freaking drilled by those guys. Gable Stevenson, Mitch McKee fucking killed them when we had to wrestle them. But shout out the KW wrestling team. They made it to the state tournament for the 7th time ever this year, and we can compete and see how they do. And then lastly, I want to shout out to you guys. Listened to you for a lot. And I just had 2 twin premature boys born in September, and through that whole time we were in the NICU, they were born at 3 pounds, 8 ounces, 3 pounds, 11 ounces. I was sitting there listening to you guys, kind of help pass the time, so appreciate that. We were at the Mayo Clinic, so shout out to Mayo Clinic. And then, so one question for you guys, if you guys had twin boys, what would you name them? Just curious what that would be. You guys have a great day. Love listening to you guys, and here's what you'd have to say. All right, bye.
Thanks for the call. Congratulations on the birth of your sons. I'd go Nick and Nate.
Diaz. What would I name twin boys? I don't know. I don't have
Marlon and Mo?
What is it? Okay. Yeah, Mo Usman and Kamara. I don't know. The names, I don't lock in on the name until it's much closer to the birth.
I imagine that, and I imagine you get a few names in your head, and then once they're born, it's
James Tahuna?
James and
Tahuna.
Tyson Pedro?
What was
forgot his name.
What was James Tahuna's brother's name?
Oh, shit, yeah. I remember you looked that up. I don't remember.
I want to say Jim, but I know that's wrong.
Let's see.
Jim and James Tahuna?
What is his name? Tama?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Tama Tahuna?
Tama Tahuna.
This could be a thing.
Oh,
yeah, Tama Tahuna.
Fuck, I forgot this is Nathan, dairy farmer from Minnesota.
Oh, what's up,
Connor,
bro?
I was that schmuck that came up to you after the Bo Nickel fight and acted all excited and didn't even think about that you had money on the fight and came up and wanted to get a picture with you. I was like, oh, why is he in such a bad mood? But now looking back on it, I totally understand. So wanted to put a face to the name, and yeah, that was that schmuck that came up after the Bo Nickel fight. Yeah, it is what it is.
No, you have
yeah,
nothing
I
to
forgot you had money
apologize
on it.
for.
My bad. Thanks again, you guys. Have a great day.
There's absolutely no you're bad there. It's actually our bad if we came across as being in a bad mood. But yeah, had a lot of money on Bo Nickel in that fight.
I love that you aired this guy out, and he was like, "That was me."
Yeah. What did I air him out for?
This thing that you were on the line at the bathroom or something, and the guy was like,
No. Remember, we had to move up to the very top for the Bo Nickel fight.
Yeah.
I don't think we aired him out. I think we were just like, what's up, man? Yeah, for sure. Picture. Yep. Just lost $400 fucking dollars on Bo Nickel. Yeah.
No, I'm saying on the show when we talked about it.
Okay.
But congratulations on the twins.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Dairy Farmer.
It's your boy Cheese from Kansas City.
Shout out to Kansas City.
I just want to get on here and tell you all that y'all been doing an amazing job since Ariel's been gone. I appreciate your work. I appreciate the content. Frank, I appreciate your mom. You guys enjoy the weekend. BITB on me. Maybe not on me. Enjoy some fights in Mexico City, pedal, and fucking just enjoy that shit. Appreciate you guys. Love y'all. See you next time.
Great call.
Love it.
Love the positivity. Love the energy. That's exactly what I'm going to do this weekend. Have a couple of cervezas. Watch a night of fights. I did want to just break the news to everyone here.
What? Is this good or bad?
It's bad. Our entire pound for pound has just collapsed.
Did Macy not make weight?
No.
Or pound for
Is
pound.
it the fact that his name
pound for
might not be pronounced the way we think it's pronounced?
It's not. I completely forgot about this, and someone on Twitter acknowledged me to it. It's pronounced Lonnie Kavanaugh.
Well, that's fine, but we're still going Loner.
Yeah. Just wanted to point that out. Yeah, Lonnie Kavanaugh.
What's that?
Looks
It's
like
not.
Lonnie. Yeah, no, that's what I just...
bullshit.
Yeah, I got a tweet. Someone was just like, instead of being like, hey, man, just by the way, like...
There might have been a couple comments in the chat.
It was, it's pronounced Lonnie. Some guy was like, are you aware? And I was like, oh, fuck. I forgot about that. Yep. Yep. Pound for pound Lonnie's next week?
While we're circling back, should we circle back to Frank saying dad asked about your mom?
Oh.
No need.
No reason to circle that thing.
I'm going to clip this off and send it to her, though, so that's okay. It's all good. The devout Christian Southern old woman will surely appreciate this.
I'm sure HR will take care of any punishments.
Yep. I'm sure saying this about the president of HR definitely won't get you into any sort of trouble.
Can't spell massive without ass.
Wow.
Just digging and digging.
Gentleman in the back, Danger from Long Island.
What's up?
Quick question here.
Let's hear it.
There's a lot of talk about the pay structure and everything in UFC and boxing and all this $15 million for Conor Benn. Just out of curiosity, and, just to say first, not saying that this supplements for the rest of the money, but out of curiosity, you guys threw out a lot of social media numbers and stuff like that. I've seen some other numbers of other athletes and how much they get paid per social media post. Do you guys know how, on average, like how much some of these guys get paid on social media? You guys were comparing the just popularity difference between Sugar Sean O'Malley, one of my favorite fighters, represent,
Shut up.
and Conor Benn, and how it's a fraction of the followers. But that being said, Sugar Sean got a lot of the popularity from UFC. Again, not saying that it totally overcomes the salary, but they probably do get paid a couple extra million on top of that throughout the year just based on the popularity that the UFC has given them. And I know that is the argument. Again, not saying it's fair. Just out of curiosity, wondering what you guys thought about that, and have you guys have any insight on some of the wages these very popular fighters like Ilia Topuria, Islam are making per post? Thank you.
Yeah, I think a lot of it depends on, is the post sponsored, what platform it's on. Like a video that does 1 million views on YouTube is going to get different revenue than 1 million views on Instagram, than 1 million views on TikTok. And then obviously branded posts, the engagement is much less significant, and the amount of pay from the sponsor is going to be the weight of the payment from that post. So it's surely a revenue stream. Like Sean O'Malley with 1 million subscribers on YouTube is definitely generating some income from that.
Yeah, for sure. But again, like to chalk that up to the UFC's machine as opposed to like Sean O'Malley did the work to get there is, those things go hand in hand. I think both are accountable for that and are party to that. The social media sponsored post days are not very high paying. Like, unless you're Conor McGregor, you're probably not making a lot for an advertisement on your social media page. And at the end of, like you mentioned, millions, I'd be shocked if anybody other than Conor was making millions outside of the cage, period, almost, or certainly for social media. I don't think anybody's making that number for social media other than maybe Conor. There's not a lot of guys and girls making that type of money outside the cage. It's just not, unless they are investing in other businesses. Their fighting careers are not generating that type of money in terms of endorsements and things like that. Whereas a boxer, they're getting all their money for what their profession is. And by the way, like, there's an argument to be made that you shouldn't have to be generating that type of money to make the wage that you deserve, right? Your employer should be paying you the wage that you deserve for what you're doing and the money that you're generating for the company. Forget the fact of, like, they're probably not making millions of dollars on these deals. The UFC is making millions of dollars, billions of dollars off their backs. They should be paid commensurate with it. So that doesn't hold much water with me, but dollars and cents wise, like, yeah, there's not a lot of guys and girls making that much money on social stuff.
Speaking of, like, I did see, when UFC went to Paramount, everyone's like, oh, they'll get more exposure and whatnot. I did see Sean O'Malley had a post of, like, a sponsored post of him promoting Survivor premiere. So I wonder, like, if there's going to be more of those opportunities. Granted, they're not making a ton of money, I imagine, off of those, but, like, you didn't see that in the ESPN era of them promoting ABC or ESPN or Disney content as much.
A lot of times what happens with some of these UFC athletes is a brand will come to them and want to spend with the athletes, right? Not just do an activation with the UFC. And then the UFC will be like, okay, we can give you this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. And then they approach certain athletes. Like, you'll see, like, if they have an activation for one of their sponsors that sells, a liquor, they'll have them at the signing. They offer some of these opportunities up to some of the certain fighters. So that sounds like one of those where Paramount was like, who can we get to post for this amount of money or this, exchange if they didn't have to pay out of pocket for it. And then they were like, we'll give you Sean O'Malley. We'll give you maybe somebody else did it. I didn't really like see much of that, but that's how those typically go.
What's going on, boys? Drew calling from Prince Rupert, BC, Canada.
Shout out to Canada.
My question's for Conor today.
Here,
Conor, on Tuesday on the nose, I noticed you flashed your phone screen real quick, and I saw your background. It was the Pokemon Gengar.
Shout out.
Didn't take it for a big Pokemon guy, so that's cool. My question is, who are your 6 Pokemon you're taking to fight the champion? Thanks, fellas.
All right, so a great question there. Yeah, there we go. We got the Gengar going. Yep, shout out to Gengar. Gengar is my number 1 favorite Pokemon. Not
Would
even
you
close.
consider yourself a huge Pokemon guy?
Huge is like a tough thing, but I mean, I've been playing it my entire life.
Are they re-releasing them? Did I make that up?
Fire Red and Leaf
Red.
Green are on the Nintendo Online store.
Yeah, so like, shout out to that. I mean, I was like 5 years old when Blue and Red came out and was like ripping Game Boy, had it on the Advance with like Crystal and Gold. Like every iteration of Nintendo, I've played the games up until the Switch now. I've already beaten whatever the one is, like the open world one, and then also Let's Go Eevee, beat that as well, which is like a remake of, it's like a souped up version for Switch of Pokemon Yellow.
Oh, instead of Pikachu, they switched it for
Yeah. You can do the Let's Go Pikachu version as well, but it's like the same maps, and it's like, I love the OG 151. That's what I grew up with.
Same.
I'm cool with adding in like Lugia and Ho-Ho and everything.
I don't know who those are.
Yeah, I mean that's getting into like second gen. I'm big on the OG 151. I mean, it's just like nostalgia. Collected the cards when I was younger. A couple Christmases ago, found like my old card collection and everything. I mean, it's always been a part of my life. Just like Mario and Zelda and shit have. It's a nostalgia thing. Top 6 going into battle though, definitely gonna have like a Gengar maxed out. what's the name of the city where you get there and it's like all the ghost music gets all crazy?
Yeah,
it's not Saffron City, Fuchsia City.
Cerulean City.
Cerulean City.
I don't know.
Yeah, like shit starts getting.
I'll look it up. That's it.com.
That's it.com. I'm gonna have my starter Pokemon in there. I'm a Bulbasaur guy. I like to go against the grain.
Not Charizard, huh?
And everyone's a fucking Charizard guy. Everyone likes their Blastoids. Let me get Venusaur going.
Lavender Town.
Lavender Town. Yeah. I love how it's like alternate color names. But yeah, pull up in Lavender Town. Screen goes like purple. So I'm gonna have a Venusaur in there. Definitely going like if we're going to the Elite Four, I'm gonna have one of the legendary birds at this point. Was always an Articuno guy.
That's the Frost one.
Yeah. People big on Zapdos.
Zapdos for sure.
Zapdos is the man, but I'm going Articuno just because like Moltres is a little bit too lame. So right now we're sitting at Gengar, and Gengar is gonna be my most powerful. We're gonna have my Venusaur. We'll have an Articuno in there. Dragonite.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely going to have one of those bad boys floating around. I was always a big Gyarados guy. Some games I would not let the Magikarp evolve and just try to like get it to as high of a level as possible when it's just like a useless piece of shit. But yeah, big Gyarados guy growing up. Man, it's right off rip. This is right off the spot. When you were choosing between like Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee, I was a big Hitmonchan guy, the boxing one. And then it's not Skylar. How do you pronounce it?
Oh, Scyther.
Scyther, the green guy
with the scissor hands.
Yeah, where you'd have to go into the zoo and you can get
the safari area.
Yeah, safari, and you could get the Kangaskhan, the Scyther.
The rhino guy, whatever he was.
Yeah. Shout out the Execute.
Oh yeah,
with like the eggs. So yeah, give me a. Here's the final: Venusaur.
Yep.
Articuno.
Yep.
Gengar.
Yep.
Hitmonchan. Just let's get the fighting going. We need a fire, so I'm gonna go Arcanine. Shout out, and then give me like the really alt Pokemon. I'm gonna go with the Scyther.
What's the level of Pokemon fandom and interest in the back there? Andy, Jordan, Frank.
I played Red and Blue on the original.
And then you were out.
And then I was out.
Oh, I'm.
Any Pokemon?
I enjoy
Jordan,
the games
Andy?
a lot.
I used to watch as a kid. And
TV
my brother
show
was super into it. So yeah, I think I had the Game Boy once, but what I remember most playing myself is Pokemon Snap, to be honest.
Hey, shout out to Pokemon Snap.
I was just going to say Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
I was out by that point.
I think red and maybe yellow.
Yeah.
Shout out. Yeah, I'm seeing some people in the chat. Missing No. Oh, that was Frank. Yeah. Shout out to Missing No. It was a glitch.
Frank saying it?
Yeah, it was a glitch.
Mewtwo.
Dragonite.
I love Mewtwo.
Mewtwo, legendary. Gotta love a Mewtwo.
Psychic.
Yeah, there's so many good ones, man. There's
Machamp, Machoke in the
Oh yeah, Machamp was the top one. Blastoise, yeah, Blastoise is sick. Alakazam, like if you're gonna go cool ones,
Alakazam's up there.
Can we cut that for a drop right there? Yeah, like if you were gonna go like coolest Pokemon, it's the psychic ones.
It's all the psychic
sure.
ones.
Like you get a Gengar in there, you get an Alakazam. I just named two.
Psyduck.
I'm having a hard time from that.
Isn't Mew?
Yes, Mew
is
and
also
Mewtwo
psychic,
are also
yeah.
psychic. Yeah, shout out, man.
Alakazam had the spoons.
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
sued for that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's like a famous magician who would like bend spoons, and he tried to say that they made that Pokemon in his likeness.
Doug Trio, yo, shout out. Jigglypuff, I'm actually a Wigglytuff guy.
Oh, Uri Geller sued them?
Yeah.
Someone says could never get into Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! While everyone else loved it. I loved both of them. I was so into Yu-Gi-Oh! As well. I was ripping tournaments and shit. Love it. Someone says Gengar isn't psychic. Oh, what is he?
Just Ghost, I guess?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah, he is just a dark Pokemon. Thank you for
No,
that.
but was he not psychic?
Yeah.
Ghost poison type, not psychic.
Yeah.
I get what you meant though. The spooky ones, the psychic.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys clarifying. Thank you. Togepi? Shout out to Togepi.
Don't fuck it up again.
Yeah, Misty's Togepi.
What it do? It's Sucker Free from Houston.
What's up, Sucker Free?
I wrote in earlier this week about who you would want to teach English to your child as a funny question. Then I thought about it and started to feel bad. One of my favorite parts about Ariel's show is when he has return guests and they give us access and updates about their lives. My question is, do you guys ever feel guilty or bad for the fighters as you hear their speech degrade over time? Some of the fighters have obvious declines, guys like Max or BJ Penn, but the ones that scare me the most are the fighters with subtle drops. They initially sound pretty sharp and smart, but after interview 3 or 4, you can kind of tell they start to repeat words or they can't recall something. It's going to sound pretty nuts, but I kind of hear it in Dustin Poirier and Volk's last talk with Ariel. They just didn't sound as sharp. What are your thoughts? Do you feel any guilt, or can you even tell? All right, you guys are the best, and you've done a really good job filling for Ariel while he's gone. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate the call. Yeah, man, it's an interesting topic because the UFC is still kind of in its infancy. We've only seen so many years of the promotion, but like you are starting to see some guys like suffer from stuff like this. I mean, just look at BJ Penn. You can't imagine that, you know, a guy in Max Holloway that's absorbed thousands of significant strikes is good for his long-term health.
Yeah.
And it's something that we see a lot in the NFL. So it's, you know, and you see with boxers too, as boxers get
Boxing
older.
worse even.
Yeah, like, you know, they kind of get, you know, punch drunk in their speech. So yeah, it's something you don't want to see with the fighters, especially as they get up there in age. But it does something that feels like it's going to be part of the game as we see these guys get older and older.
Yeah, I don't necessarily feel guilt about it because, again, it's a sport. It's a professional sport. There are many other sports where these types of, like, football is not good for your brain. That's just a reality. Like, this is not good for people's heads, and that ain't going away either. I don't feel a sense of guilt about it, but it is why when we talk about fighter pay or we talk about why these people should be compensated more, this is the reason. This is why we talk about fighter pay. This is why it's important for fighters to be paid for this, because they are sacrificing things for us. And, you know, you're trying to, like, you know, amateur doctor identify some of the guys. I don't know about that part because, you know, some guys are going to be better than others, and it's just like luck of the draw, how much damage you took, all these things, right? But all of them have made that risk, regardless of whether they end up on the worst possible outcome or the best possible outcome. All of them took the risk of doing that and should be compensated for taking that risk. And they are not paid commensurate with what they should be when you compare them to boxers or to other sports. And football, I mentioned as one that is still extremely risky. They should be paid as if they were taking that risk as opposed to not. And so that's why it's an important kind of discussion around that. I don't necessarily feel guilt about it, though.
Hi, this is Steve. My message is for the king, Eric Jackman. I've been at the same job for 10 years.
Naturally.
I'm a jack of all trades, but a master of most. When something needs done, I'm the first one to raise my hand. But lately, I've been wanting more, either a better title and higher pay, or a new opportunity elsewhere. So I scheduled a meeting with my boss and thought, what would New York Rick do?
Hell yeah.
My first thought was bucket. So I hit him over the head with a bucket, and now I'm looking for a job. You guys hiring?
We do need a bucket purveyor.
That was probably the wrong move. Congratulations on fun employment. That's not what I meant by buckets. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Hopefully that's not a real story.
Says it right here on the news. Man assaults other with bucket during job interview.
Who are these people calling in and calling you king and saying you're the greatest? Like, who are these people and how much do you pay them?
I am the best ideal person for Asian representation, and I am the king.
As
These
a
are
white man from
known.
Queens?
These are known. These are known.
Hey boys, just wanted to call in and put in my 2 cents of glaze for this last 3 weeks that you guys put in to the show, and just wanted to say, like, how much of a 3 weeks, extra weeks of Christmas it felt like, because it's just so good, man. Like, I've said it multiple times that Boys in the Bag went from like my favorite MMA show on the internet to like my favorite show on the internet, period. And it's just like every day that because I live in Australia and we go to work 7 and your show is on like 4 a.m. till 7 a.m. here, and like we can always start our day with your show, and it's just like been so amazing. And I wanted to let you guys know like how, just hope that you guys know how good you are, like you and even the people in the control room, everyone. And yeah, and thank you. And if I can just leave with one question, why does the guy from Zuffa Boxing, Mark Shapiro, always sounds like a guy that the voice memo that you find in audio logs you find in video games? Thank you. You guys rock. Thank you. Bye.
My man, thank you so much for the call.
What a great compliment and a great question.
Can't tell you how much we appreciate it. The idea of you listening to us at 4 a.m. getting ready for work in Australia blows my mind.
It's tough.
Hard to comprehend. We really, really appreciate it. It means a lot, and we appreciate the kind words as we come to the end of this Olympic era here at Uncrowned. But yeah, you're spot on with the Mark Shapiro. Yeah, it's always it's a speakerphone.
NPC character giving you a download on what you need to do.
Make sure to watch it on Paramount Plus.
Thank you for the kind words. Thank you to everybody who said kind words. I've gotten a lot of messages in this last little bit about people saying how much they appreciated the content. Really appreciate you. As we've also said many times, happy to have Helwani back on Monday to get us back into routine. But it was a fun little excursion, and really, really appreciate everybody who showed us love and support during that time.
And thank you for all the voicemails. That was all of them.
Oh, shout out. Thanks to everyone that called in. We really appreciate the calls. We get any super chats, Frankie?
Super chats. Here we have a few. This one says, Frank, I'm glad you cut Rick's mic being rips. I did this at the direction of On Air Jordan.
What's the Bing Rips thing again? Remind me.
I don't know what it is.
No, there's something. What is that? Why do I get that reference?
Maybe it's just a typo.
No,
Is next
it's
to the
not. It's
U.
not. There's something with Bing Rips. I don't know. I'm forgetting. The brain doesn't work anymore.
You could say over market rate instead of overpaid.
Yeah. That's right. That's what it is. It's not overpaid. It is more than what the market might demand. Then again, though, the market is kind of set by whatever's out there. Like, how much is this person worth? However much somebody's willing to give them is how much they're worth. But it's more accurate for sure.
You all forget the hero of loners, Rambo.
Oh,
Rambo's a legend. Rambo's a legend.
A great one.
What
about Lonnie's?
Yeah, I was going to say we'll save that for pound Lonnie's.
Every day my coworker Ish tells me Tom needs to be stripped. He's a top-tier hater and hates on Ariel but respects the boys in the bag. Please roast him. Thank you in advance.
TIA.
Tom doesn't need to be stripped.
He doesn't need to be stripped. And you don't need to say it every single day. You don't need to bang the drum for it. If time does go on and he is not able to fight and his fighting future is still unknown, then yeah, I do think there needs to be an interim title or a vacant title placed. The division does need to keep moving. But for now, let's see if he can get back on track and get back in the game.
Yeah, let's see where I think we have to wait until at least he recovers from his surgery to make any kind of determination. Once we then have that, and then he goes, yeah, I'm back in training, I'm going to fight in 3 months, or I have to have another surgery, I'm going to be out for an extended period of time, that's when we can start thinking about, do they strip him outright? Do they put up a vacant title? I mean, in my opinion, it would be fair to let him hold on to that belt and make an interim title, because that was what he had to do and had to wait for John Jones to kind of play pussyfoot with all this. And so I would definitely not be in a rush to strip Tom Aspinall. Now, his relationship with Dana White and the UFC comes into that, and Dana has not exactly handled it super well when it comes to Tom. So I don't know, but I don't think Tom Aspinall needs to be stripped. Let's give the guy some time and some room to breathe. Everybody's kind of shitting on him relentlessly, and all he's trying to do is get back so he can be normal and fight again and live again. But well, that's if you don't believe in conspiracies and that Tom's faking it and he's a pussy and all the others.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. If he's saying Tom needs to be stripped because, he's faking it and he's a bitch and all that, then, your friend has got to shut the fuck up. But in terms of the timeline, if he's not available at some point soon, then, they are going to have to move on with the division.
And lastly, for the next week, any one of you two say the name Conor or McGregor, UFC Conor McGregor, it's 50 push-ups each time.
Oh, thank you for the $5 CT MMA 808. That is not going to happen.
Your name is
McGregor.
Conor.
Yeah, Conor.
So if we said it, it would be hard to not say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you specified that you're referring to one specific Conor.
McGregor.
Yes, exactly.
Either way, we're not doing the 30 push-ups. I mean, that's just what it is. Thank you very much for the super chats. Thank you very much.
No,
for the
man. Fuck
voicemails.
Conor.
Exactly. Thank you, Dustin. I think that's going to just about do us for us here on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. That's going to do it for the Olympic era. Thank you to everyone that said the kind words. We made it to the end of it. 9 shows. Thanks so much to Jordan, Andy, Frank in the back. We made it through a blizzard as well. That didn't stop us. Really, really appreciate all the help. Looking forward to getting Ariel back on Monday, back to your regularly scheduled programming here at Uncrowned. We made it. Hope you're not tired of us, and if so, we're gone anyway. Watch The Crack tomorrow. Back on Monday with the Ariel Helwani show. Until then, peace.
Protect your neck, cause you come next. Yeah, you ought to know best, this ain't no chess. I'm a dragon, my town, my cage, my nest. Protect your neck, cause you come next.